A little hungry. Does anyone want to switch entrees? Pretty sure I checked beef.
You wouldn't settle for just any speech, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score!
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Jankowski catching out of one and change across. They score! Will Carrier buries it from Jankowski, and Carolina takes a 1-0 lead. Blake goes rink wide for Hall. Hall drifts with a shot. He scores! Always a good idea to send it to the net, and Taylor Hall, his 12th of the year, makes it 3-0 Carolina. Sent out in front to score! Andrei Svechnikov. He gets a bounce, and James Reimer is snake bitten on that, but it's a power play goal for Carolina, and it's 4-0.
Hey, everybody. It's the Adam Gold Show. Not Adam Gold. Paul Eihander in for Adam Gold today. I appreciate Mr. Gold letting me sit in the chair once again. First opportunity for the new year 2026. Hello to everybody watching worldwide, coast to coast, on the YouTube channel, the flagship station, the Adam Gold Show, 99.9 The Fan. For those of you joining us over the air or streaming, welcome to a Thursday, the final Thursday of 2029, the month of January. Yes, it has flown by so quickly. What have you done? And what do they say when you put things off yesterday? You're just one day away from not doing it again. So today, if you put something off yesterday, today would be a good day to do it. And that includes me, because I have lots of things that I failed to do yesterday that I need to do today. But one of those things I will not fail at, I promise you, is for the next 3 hours, actually 2 hours, 58 minutes, is you'll be entertained. You'll be entertained with some sports, some entertainment chat, and I promise you, you will not get bored. You won't. If you open up your minds, open up your mind and just let that sunshine in. Because, to be honest, we probably have to have a weather chat. Nobody better to have that weather chat with than someone who's used to cold weather, and that would be the smart and intelligent Victoria, who is producing today. As always, good afternoon, Victoria.
Oh, hello. This is your first 2026 appearance, and the month is almost over.
Yes, I know.
This is crazy. But yeah, that happens.
It does. And so as we in the Carolinas prepare once again for the threat of weekend weather, of which my car finally thawed out yesterday at about 4 o'clock. All the ice came off my hood and off the top of my car. Mm-hmm. And my driveway at my home is still icy.
Yeah.
Not like your driveway at home, Victoria. I know. Your driveway, which is pretty much over the river and through the woods.
Yes, basically. On a pond, a frozen pond. I know. I have to, because I realize a lot of people are like, oh, the road is completely dry. What's going on? No, not my neighborhood. My subdivision is one that is privately owned. So that means nothing's done to it ever.
You have skates, right? You have sleds and cross-country skis and all those things to get in?
I have garbage can lids.
You're actually hoping for snow, so you don't have to deal with the ice.
I know, yeah.
Is what it is.
I love snow. I don't mind snow at all. But yeah, this whole ice thing, I would be stranded because my car is, it's a little teeny Honda, so teeny tiny Honda. It does not do well with ice, so that's the problem. But
so here's what we're not going to do on this program. We are not going to scare the pants off of you. I mean, if you prefer to go pantsless, that's totally fine.
Yeah, we won't judge because we can't see you.
Right, but I'm not in the business of freaking people out about weather. Like, I've lived in some pretty harsh places before, in some altitudes, and back in the day in a prior profession that I was still in media, but I was a morning reporter in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And a morning reporter in Denver, Colorado is a hardy folk.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of strange folks, but then it snows. So combine snow with strange people, and it's -4 degrees.
Yeah.
And you're talking to people who really don't want to talk to you, but for some reason, because you're all cold together, there's a camaraderie.
Oh, yeah. You've made it through.
Yeah, we've all held hands and made it through together. So that's what we're going to do from this past week to this upcoming weekend, which, depending on where you live, you will get between 1 and 100 inches of snow.
Right.
And for all the internet weather people out there, which, by the way, is fantastic. When it comes to social media, and I know Adam Gold is an interesting cat when it comes to social media. And by the way, my name is Paul Eihander. If you're just diving in here, I appreciate you hanging out. Like I said, you're going to be entertained. When it comes to social media, we've had so many professions over the past 5 years, right? We started with COVID. And everybody, when you went to social media, suddenly became an expert in medicine. And then, all of a sudden, everyone became an expert in international law. And then everyone became an expert in energy processes. Well, now, online, on social media channels, depending on which ones you subscribe to and which ones you lean into, you not only became fans of people who are internet master chefs, in which everyone is a Michelin star chef these days.
Just call him Gordon Ramsay.
But if you scroll through your internet feeds right now, I guarantee you will find someone who has been forecasting the weather for less than a week.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Probably telling you to get bread and stuff, too.
Right. Did you not burn through all the bread, milk, and
I
eggs
know.
of this past week?
Your food's going bad because we weren't snowed in as bad. Iced in, I guess.
And I will stand with those. And I know there's a lot of people who are critical of people who made the big run to the baking shelves back in the disease days, I should say. And that was almost 6 years ago now, I guess.
No.
That people went out and raided flour. I say raided. They went out and purchased flour and sugar and eggs and milk and things like that. And everyone was worried about the power outages. And everyone's like, what are you going to do with all that? Are you going to bake all this stuff with no power? No, dummy.
Right.
You bake it when you have electricity prior, so it's already done.
Mm-hmm.
Because for some of you out there, and I totally get it, and maybe you live with people that think this way, you cannot make it through any sort of bad weather, whether it's winter, spring, summer, or fall, without carbs.
Yes. And why would you want to?
So, there you go.
This is your time to get fat and sassy, people.
Fat and sassy. And you can do it by watching or listening to sports. That's the whole point of this, right? The whole point of this is to get prepared so you can sit on your couch and watch live sports, because that's what we do as a group, as a community.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is time to get that part of this program started.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
So it is a hockey night in Carolina. We'll start with things on ice related, since we've been talking about the weather and what may or may not happen in the next couple of days. It is a hockey night in Carolina, or should we say hockey night in Hartford? Whatever you want to call it. Tonight's a throwback night if you happen to have tickets, or you're watching or you're listening to tonight's NHL hockey game between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Utah Mammoth, which also happens to be a team with deep roots. For those of you watching on YouTube, and sometimes I get props for wearing this, I do have my Arizona Coyotes gear on right now, as I had spent a little time out there and sat glass for Arizona Coyotes games. So if we're going to have a true throwback night, the Utah Mammoth should roll into Raleigh tonight, because Carolina's going to wear the Hartford Whalers stuff again. If we're going to do throwback, the Utah Mammoth should come in and wear Arizona Coyote stuff.
They should.
So I'm the first one. I'm the first one that's diving in and making it happen. So let's go, Yotes. I'm okay with the Whalers stuff right up until they play the song, and the song is the only thing I truly care about. This is my hill.
Yeah.
This is my hill, folks.
Right. Plant your flag.
The Carolina Hurricanes, and I have good relationships with those folks in the front office and certainly within other portions of that franchise. I don't understand the obsession with Hartford. I don't get it. They've been in the Carolinas much longer than they ever were in Hartford. They won their Stanley Cup in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. They have a store, though, inside the Lenovo Center, which, by the way, is the number 19th ranked barn to watch a hockey game in the NHL, at least according to the Athletic writers. There is no, by the way, in Utah. And I get it. There's some wiggle room here because the Arizona Coyotes owner, Alex Morello, surrendered the rights to the Coyote stuff once that team folded in Arizona and Phoenix, and the NHL would be wise not to go back. Although it did bring us Austin Matthews. He played in all those little ready-to-skate, ready-to-play leagues and whatnot. And so that's a good thing. But in Utah, they don't have an Arizona Coyote store. There is no Howler the mascot floating around anywhere to celebrate.
Aw.
Again, I should be talking about the hockey game tonight because the Carolina Hurricanes haven't played since last Saturday, so it feels like eons.
A long time, actually.
Yeah, since the Canes have gotten together. And they are still atop of the Metropolitan Division. They are just 1 point behind Tampa of all teams in the Eastern Conference when it comes to if the playoffs ended today. I worked with Michael Thompson back in the day. If you don't know who Michael Thompson is, Michael Thompson played for the Los Angeles Lakers, played for the Portland Trail Blazers, had a very long NBA career. He also happens to be the father of Klay Thompson, the current Dallas Mavericks guard, former Golden State Warriors. And the phrase he loved the most and the phrase I least liked, and I don't like using the word hate, by the way. Hate's a really strong word. So I really disliked the fact when he said, if the playoffs ended today, Paul.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, but they're not.
Yeah.
but they're not. But they're not ending today. The Carolina, almost said Panthers there. Still not out of NFL mode yet.
Same.
Carolina Hurricanes would be the top seed out of the Metro, but the number 2 overall in the Eastern Conference. So there's where you have it. So tonight, Carolina Hurricanes try to stay atop the Metropolitan Division as they bring in Utah, the Mammoth. The first meeting between these two teams. And Utah comes in playing pretty good hockey, too. Pretty much the same kind of record in the last 10, albeit I believe there's 7-1-2 along those lines, 7-2-1 if I'm not mistaken. Hurricanes, same kind of bit, 8-1-1, playing very good hockey right now. Mammoth have some, Vejmelka is their goaltender. He is kind of one of those true kind of 1A goaltenders, like Vanacek. His backup is truly kind of the backup. There is no split duty. It's got Shesterkin, Vasilevsky vibes, if you know what I mean, if you're really deep into that hockey. But Vejmelka is kind of the one guy. He's the one dude, and he's been playing really good hockey for the Mammoth. And the Mammoth are in the wild card right now in the Western Conference. Western Conference is kind of wide open towards that kind of 6, 7, 8. They hold the first wild card right now if the playoffs ended today. So they're in for a banger. I don't know what we're going to get. We could just get a rough and tumble from the Carolina Hurricanes. Both these teams don't score a ton. I believe it's 6.5 is the number for those of you who like to dabble in that. I would expect a kind of a lower output, at least for me. At least for me, I would expect a lower output between these two teams as they match up. Again, the Mammoth come in. They've been riding pretty well, but they're not great on the road. They've been struggling quite a bit on the road. But they play pretty good, very offensive hockey.
And we're likely to have Bussy in net tonight, I think.
As far as we know, I haven't checked that for sure. That probably should be the report.
That should keep the score lower for sure, I would say.
Yeah, Brandon Bussy has been hot. Had a chance to spend some time with him at an event on Tuesday night, just to kind of chat him up a little bit. And the long-term prospects, at least from him, seem pretty good that he's going to stick around. He likes it here. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
An incredibly genuine guy. And so we'll see how it kind of works out tonight. There'll be a reunion, by the way, on the ice. William Carrier of the Carolina Hurricanes will get to see his old friend Nate Schmidt of the Utah Mammoth. The two played together in Las Vegas for the Golden Knights, won a cup together. And Schmidt he's kind of towards the tail end of his NHL career than the beginning. I like to call him the golden retriever of the NHL.
Oh, nice.
He's just one of those kind of happy guys.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. And if you could imagine, and Canes fans, we all have an affinity for Seth Jarvis, right? We all seem to like his attitude. He seems to be that kind of way. Nate Schmidt's that same guy. Mm-hmm. And so if you look at Nate Schmidt from 10 years ago when he was in this league to now, he's that same kind of vibe that Jarvis has, only on the defensive side of the puck. And Schmidt is playing some hefty minutes, kind of resurrected his career a little bit once he got traded out of Las Vegas. It was a cap thing when he got let go, and he ended up in Vancouver, and I think he went to Winnipeg for a bit, was in Florida, played minutes in Florida, and now ends up in Utah, and he's doing really well. He's playing like 20 minutes a night. So he's kind of resurrected his career a little bit, found that joy again. Again, that golden retriever kind of deal. So expect a little Carrier, Nate Schmidt moment tonight on the ice between the Mammoth and Canes. Again, the Coyotes and the Whalers tonight. Again, if we're going to go full boat
Right.
on Whalers night, then you tell the Mammoth, you know what, for one night, suck it up.
Yeah.
We're the Coyote stuff.
Right.
We're the Coyote stuff tonight. So, good puck drop at Lenovo. Good to have the Hurricanes back on the ice. And so, speaking of that, home ice advantage. The Athletic came out with an article that ranked the top barns in the NHL. And if you are, again, thinking about places to play, you look at places with history that have that vibe, that have that, and their criteria was pretty solid. They talked about being near things, which I think is what kind of set the Lenovo Center in Raleigh back a bit, because it's kind of not near stuff, right? Because it's not near stuff, you get the uniqueness of the tailgating vibe, which was singled out by the Athletic, and the renovations will help. I saw a picture yesterday, as a matter of fact, referring to Wednesday, that they're building this upper-level 300 bar there, and they've taken most of the tarp off. So if you're going to the game tonight, you're an earshot of going to the game, or you get some glamour shots of that building, they've taken the tarp off. I'm not sure if it's ready yet. I know from behind the scenes, from who I talked to, they're waiting for some special glass. They're waiting for a few amenities to show up so they can install it. But they have peeled it back, and it kind of looks pretty cool. But for Lenovo Center, in terms of like amenities, they're improving things there. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they're going to undergo the seating renovation thing. So maybe this thing goes up. But for atmosphere, there's no doubt about it that it ranks really high among NHL barns. Bell Center in Montreal, I've never been. But when it comes to Montreal fans, again, you're talking about just the passion of those fans. There's a lot of stuff around it. T-Mobile Arena is number 2. T-Mobile Arena is where the Golden Knights play, which makes a lot of sense. I've spent some time inside that building, spent plenty of time in Las Vegas. That is a perfectly placed arena. You can walk there from pretty much anywhere. There's plenty of parking, and you can pre-funk before you go in.
There you go. It's like, that's the key. There's a lot of other things you could do in the area, and you just walk to it.
Right, and then you get inside, and it's like some laser light show, drone show, Cirque du Soleil, magic show.
Right. Celine Dion is singing down the
right,
down
and that's
the
just
road.
the pregame.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
That's just the pregame.
The Sphere is doing its thing. I can't wait to see the Sphere in person, maybe one day.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It's
it
cool.
looks really cool.
It's a giant light-up ball.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's a big
It's cool.
magical ball.
It is cool. It's unavoidable. 3, Tampa Bay, Benchmark Arena, of course, down to kind of the Power District of Tampa. Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, which is right in the middle of Broadway there. Really easy, and having been there, I get it why that's number 4. So hopefully Lenovo Center, which is kind of right in the middle of the pack here, can slide up once a lot of these renovations get done, and that'll be pretty cool. All right, let's move on here to the Charlotte Hornets, shall we? The Charlotte Hornets have, if you can believe this, eclipsed last year's win total.
Wow, look at them go.
I know, right? It's like a baby all grows up.
No, it's so adorable.
So the Charlotte Hornets won last night. They've won 4 games in a row now.
It's a streak.
That is a streak. They have one of the longer streaks. Now they've got to play Dallas tonight, so this will be interesting because it's a little reunion of friends. There are so many Duke Blue Devils players between these two teams, and tonight, although apparently Cooper Flagg is listed as doubtful in this one. Oh, he's not even. Oh, is he playing? He didn't play against Minnesota.
Oh, what a bummer.
So is he going to play tonight? Boy, I hope he plays tonight.
Yeah.
That would be
cool to see him like back in North Carolina playing, even though it's not for the Hornets.
Right. I mean, the Canales, who's had a great year for them. I mean, Sion James. There are so many links between these two teams that are going at it tonight. This is an 8:30 game, by the way. The Hornets, though, are playing very good basketball, and Canaple's part of that. It's very clear that Brandon Miller's strung together a bunch of 20-plus games. LaMelo Ball has, for as much criticism as the coaching staff has had, kind of having him come off the bench a little bit, playing a little fewer minutes, he's been more like on the court than off the court these days, which helps. And, Miles Bridges, poured in some really great numbers in last night's win. So the Hornets are the next to last. They're the next to last outside of the play-ins. They're 11 right now. So if the playoffs began today, they're not in. They're not in. Okay, you get that.
Man.
They're not in right now. But because of the basketball that they're playing right now, when everyone's on the court together, they look really good.
Yeah, which is, when was the last time we said that about the Charlotte Hornets?
Yeah.
I don't think the city of Charlotte knows what to do with themselves with successful pro teams now.
I think you're allowed to put on some Hornets gear. If you weren't necessarily kind of like, should I really wait till this Panthers kind of vibe ends or whatnot? You're not gonna.
Especially the throwbacks. Oh, man, break out the Hornet throwback
Dude,
gear.
the pinstripe
Hornets.
Love it. Grandmama,
Love it.
bring me that all day.
Yes.
Oh, that vibe is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Oh, that's so good. So they beat the Grizzlies 112-97. Moussa Diabate had a big double-double, too. 18 and 20, I think, is what the number was. 18 and 20. And so they've rattled off 4 in a row. Again, back-to-backs, a little bit tough at Dallas. So they continue that roadie. But I tell you what, if you want to start feeling good about them, you have permission. There's no doubt about it. There's no shame in that. And yes, 20 wins, one more than last year, and it's only January. We started this show 20 minutes ago saying, hey, it's the last Thursday of January. What are you doing? But wow, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
I know. It's exciting. It's exciting to be excited about pro sports in North Carolina.
There's some good things happening.
I know.
Finally, you can say it. Everyone's kind of moving forward. Now, you know what? After we say that, it's going to happen, right?
Well, yeah. Everything's going to stink, and then people will be like, you jinxed us.
Knock on whatever you got. Here, I'm going to knock
Ice,
over here.
Snow and ice.
Knock on snow and ice. Yeah, for sure. All right. Finally, we have our latest coaching opening. It was late last night in the NFL. No, they did not hire Ejiro Evero, who was one of the many candidates who's been interviewing across the league. The Charlotte, Carolina, now Cleveland. I had to get through all the C's to get to Cleveland to get my mind right. Cleveland Browns hiring Todd Monken. It's from all indications here, based on this job being open, there were only 3 left, and we're going to chop up 2 more of them coming up real quick here. There were only 3 left. This may have been perhaps the best of the final 3. ESPN Emmett Golden talked about why Monken's got an uphill battle ahead of him with the Browns.
Now you have a head coach that is about to turn 60 and first time being a head coach. For all we know, he could be great. I'm not doubting him. I'm not going to start from a place of saying he can't be successful. But it sounds like now he's going to have to find a new DC. Think he's going to call plays and be the coordinator? That's cool. What is he going to do? At quarterback, the offensive line was a disaster. There have been no playmakers at the receiver position. So he's walking through the door 60 years old with a bunch of problems that he has to fix.
But isn't that the job? See, that's the only thing. That's the job, right? The Carolina Panthers fans, you understand this all too well, right? All too well. You've seen the comings and the goings in the front office. You've seen the comings and the goings when it comes to roster turnover. You're always having to fix bad teams. But once you get that correct fix in, and I'm not saying, by the way, that the Carolina Panthers are fully fixed. But I tell you what, I can drive that car pretty safely from my house to work.
Right.
And I know that car is going to get me back from work to home.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
don't
hear some sounds, but you're not stressing too much.
Exactly.
Yet.
And I don't have to carry that extra quart of oil with me
Right.
when I get to work to dump it in just to make sure it turns over. That's not the bit. This is what you have to do. And yes, Cleveland is full of holes. There's no doubt about it. But there is young talent in that building. You do have some options available to you, and you do control some of your picks as well. So even if you think you have to fix the quarterback situation, the bar in Cleveland is so low right now. And Kevin Stefanski, up until this past year, really, it was kind of like, what are we doing? We have to bring in a Joe Flacco midseason. Does that work for us? No, not really. All right, let's figure out if we're going to go with Dylan Gabriel. Let's figure out if we're going to go with Shadur Sanders and all that noise that surrounded quarterbacks and whatnot. That was just one part of that whole mess in Cleveland. But it might have been the best of the last three situations just based on stability and ownership. And that's not even saying that much, to be honest. But it might be better than the other two situations available that were out there. So Todd Monken fills it out in Cleveland. Yes, he does have a taller hill to climb, but the bar is so low in Cleveland right now. And what are you trying to step over? It's not that Cincinnati let the world on fire either.
No.
They went through injuries. Joe Burrow, is his head in the game? Are we actually having that conversation?
Poor guy's been hurt more than he's not been hurt the past few seasons.
He sparked it. He was a pretty hot, guy early on in his career. He's going through some injuries right now. Went to bat for his guys in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and got them back. But, Cincinnati's doing weird things. Pittsburgh, you got to bring in a Mike McCarthy in hopes that you get back an Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, hope? Yeah, that's a wonderful strategy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
hope that works out for you.
Right. And, Baltimore, again, new coordinators, same old crew, but that might have been one of the better situations to be in. So, anyway, there are two head coaching jobs left, and that is what we're going to chat about coming up next. Paul Ihander in for Adam Gold today. So what is keeping Arizona and Las Vegas from filling those jobs? That's coming up next on The Adam Gold Show.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoots, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Utah.
Back to Thompson, they score.
He saved it. I thought he saved it.
Oh, dear, Bussy.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Luukkonen with the save. Rebound, they score. Seth Jarvis on the power play. Followed his shot and found the back of the net.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Super Bowl 60 is about 10 days away. You have enough time as a new customer to come on board with FanDuel, win your first $5 bet, and then take advantage of $200 in bonus bets from me and FanDuel. I'll take partial credit for it since I'm the one telling you about it right now. So, win your first $5 wager, get $200 of FanDuel's money, and then you can go to town on the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara is a rematch of Super Bowl 49, which I believe was in Arizona. Patriots and Seahawks. What a country. FanDuel.com/local, FanDuel.com/local.
21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Now, let's take a short break from our 8-hour ode to the oboe for a word from our sponsor, Mr. First Tuesday. Get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday. Looks like we've got a caller on the line.
How are you not more excited about new scratch-offs? There's millions in prizes.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mr. First Tuesday. And by the way, it goes, get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Well, the missus has got a new to-do list for the new year.
Really? What's she up to?
Oh, she's locked in on House of Hops, and I can't blame her. I do love that place. Easy to relax, variety of food trucks, and a new selection of those THC drinks I'm digging on. Mama's a wine drinker, and their wine list is only matched by their huge craft beer selection.
Well, you're lucky. My love has honed in on Che Empanadas. I bet we've ordered takeout from there at least 17 times. Good stuff, brother.
Che Empanadas? The one by Sharky's?
Yes, sir.
Hard to drive by that place without pulling in and ordering something. Authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they're all incredible.
Wait, surely y'all are including salt and lime.
Oh, hell yeah. The missus has fallen in love with that place. And to tell you the truth, it's one of my favorites too. Every meal we have there is scrumptious.
Scrumptious?
Yeah, scrumptious.
You got that right. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, and Salt and Lime. Outstandingly scrumptious. Off Glenwood and Durham Road.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-296-6868. That's 800-296-6868.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one patient per year who might not have access to proper oral health care. Join me in making a difference.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more.
This is Adam Gold.
You know, soap attracts dirt, right? That's what soap does. It attracts dirt. Right now, Bill Belichick is soap. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's soap.
Yeah.
He's attracting all this dirt.
Or he's like an overripe banana and it's attracting all these gnats.
The Adam Gold Show.
Sure. Do you when you get knocked down, do you get back up again? Do you take a whiskey drink? Do you take a lager drink?
Or a vodka drink.
Or a vodka drink. Hey, everybody. It's the Adam Gold Show. Paul Ihander today in for Adam Gold. Appreciate Adam letting me step in for him. It's nice to sometimes get out of mornings. I'm in mornings on The Fan in Raleigh on 99.9 The Fan every morning at 9 o'clock for a bit. So I get to stretch my legs out a little bit more. I do a little bit more of a rapid-fire show in the morning, a little bit of opinion. But I get to stretch out during Adam's show, and I do appreciate that. I don't want to lean on too much hurricanes during this hour because I know there's a million other things going on in the planet. But the Hurricanes say Walt Ruff, team reporter there, who controls all the I call it the state-run Canes media. He says Brandon Bussey was in the starter's crease this morning at practice, so he'll probably get the nod.
Nice.
And Shane Gostisbehere might be returning on defense.
Oh, Ghost.
So it's been a while since we've seen him command a power play, and maybe that'll help. Not that it's been too bad. They did have an 0-for-5 performance during the last stretch, but Gostisbehere might be back tonight, at least according to Rod. So that's good news.
Mm-hmm.
That's good news. So just share a couple of nuggets there with you. That's Victoria, by the way. You keep hearing Victoria's voice pop in and pop out, and just want to let her know she's here. She's your comfort blanket. And by the way, does Adam keep this studio cold?
I mean, he might. I know it gets warm back here despite the balloon sweatshirt that I'm wearing.
Yeah, no joke. The thermometer, the thermostat in this in here actually says it's 71 degrees.
Oh, wow.
It is not 71.
Yeah, it's a lie.
I know what 71 feels like.
Yeah.
It's not 71.
Maybe it's like my house where the thermostat is just fighting to work at that level. It's just trying so hard, but it's actually 17. It's probably closer to 17 in that studio than it is 71.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no way
Yeah.
here that it's 71. So I told there's a couple of promotions people sitting outside the studio here nearby. I said, I'm going to come out and you're going to have to hug me or wrap me in a Snuggie.
Right.
Just to get me warm.
You'll be like the guys on the sideline of the football game where they come out with the big coats.
The giant, yeah, exactly. Let's call a timeout and get me one of them. Get me one of them big ass parkas to throw on my shoulders.
Yeah, parka cape.
And then I need because I am wearing my Coyote sweatshirt today. For those of you watching on YouTube, my throwback sweatshirt, and I do have a pouch here. I've got a little kangaroo pouch that I can put my hands in, but I like to use my hands, so I'm conflicted.
Right.
I'm a little conflicted on how this is supposed to work.
They're exposed now.
And again, I don't want to keep going back to hurricane stuff, but my joke was if it's Whalers night at Lenovo Center tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes, they've posted some pictures and everyone's getting a good laugh out of Jacob Slavin kind of just slouching in his locker, and everyone's like, oh, I need that vibe right now because he looks comfortable. He does, and cool, good for you, Slavo. That's what they call him, by the way, Slavo.
Right.
But the Utah Mammoth actually did not go by the Mammoth in their first year in Utah. I forgot that they were Utah Hockey Club.
Hockey. Yeah, like Washington football team.
Football team. So they were Utah Hockey Club. So if they really wanted to throw back, they could just wear the ones that say Utah on them.
They should. I think that's their throwback, as young as their throwback is.
Right, 2 seasons. They don't have to go all the way back to Arizona, although I do love the Kachina, Arizona stuff. So speaking of Arizona, talking about the NFL. So we talked about as we led off the show, as we went through the started part of this Adam Gold show, we talked about the Cleveland Browns hiring Todd Monken as a new head coach. And it's really nice, by the way, to not have to talk about the Carolina Panthers right now and a coaching search.
Yes.
If it's like a team, special teams coaching search or position coach, fine, whatever. We can do that. But that's like just, hey, they're still looking for somebody. We're not having this full-blown discussion about it. But in the NFL, when they filled the Cleveland job yesterday, it made me think, I'm like, what's keeping candidates from running to Arizona to take the Cardinals job? And what's keeping a candidate, unless it's the process, by the way, it could be the process, and that's part of the conversation, what's keeping someone from taking that Las Vegas Raiders job? Because there's advantages of being out there, first of all. In Arizona and in Las Vegas right now, you're getting some pretty good bang for your buck. And you don't have to shovel sunshine. I say that in jest, but for a lot of people, that's a thing. Climate is a thing. And it's why there are many players within the NHL who have no trade clauses. I do not want to live in a northern climate. I do not want to live in a place that, kind of struggles getting behind a hockey team. That's tough for some of them. Again, the whole tax situation, right? Players going to, even in college football, much was made about the NHL and how Tampa and Florida and Miami and the Florida Panthers are doing these, signing all these players and whatnot. Some of it has to do with money. And you can make more money with that salary, say, in Nevada because of the tax situation there. And even in Arizona, there's a different tax situation depending on where you live and how you classify yourself. And having lived in both places, I know this. Maybe that's part of it. The other thing, obviously, is personnel. And you look at Arizona, and if I'm the new head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, because Jonathan Gannon couldn't get it done. For some reason, he got chance after chance after chance, and it just didn't work out. It didn't work out. If I end up going to Arizona, and I have to go work within that organization, and I look at myself, and I go, what is available to me, and do they believe in what we're doing? And when the belief comes in the fact that you do not have belief in your quarterback, now you have an interesting problem right away. And for Michael Bidwell, who is the principal owner of the Cardinals, that is like money he has seen get flushed down the toilet outside of jersey sales. Like the last time the Cardinals were like really, 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 really relevant seems to be the last time they played the Carolina Panthers in the NFC Championship game.
Right.
Roughly a decade ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah, you're looking for relevance. And that is kind of the last time they've had good draft picks. But good draft picks don't mean relevance. Good draft picks means you're not playing well to get that draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Marvin Harrison Jr. sitting there going, I need some help. I need some help. And in Las Vegas, you've got that same kind of situation. You've got, in the Davis family, you've got some interesting ownership.
Yeah.
And you understand that when you go there, that might be one of the shortest leashes in the NFL.
Yeah.
They roll through coaches like nobody's business. Like when they did not hire Rich Bisaccia when he took over as an interim coach when John Gruden left, I was like, I don't know what we're doing at this point. Like he had the locker room, he had all these things. They hire Antonio Pierce. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
They went through the Josh McDaniels era. This is the Denver Broncos did. We didn't work. Josh McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator. He was never meant to be a head coach. He probably realizes that now.
Right.
Like, fool me once, shame on me.
Well, and now the Raiders, like they had Pete Carroll, who now you've got to fill his shoes, which Pete Carroll was an amazing head coach, and he couldn't turn them around to their liking. And you also have Tom Brady there just looming in the background. So that's a lot of pressure.
You're right. There is a lot of pressure that comes along with the layers of the Raiders organization.
Mm-hmm.
But you have Ashton Genty in your backfield.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out just how to block for that guy. You have the top pick in the NFL draft, which seems to be for a quarterback-hungry team. You pretty much have the only quarterback everyone is like, yep, this is the guy. And if you're going to look for a character guy, by all means, it feels like, and as they say, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Fernando Mendoza is going to be the number 1 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft and has the tools to be that guy. Heisman Trophy winner, college football championship winner. He has all those intangibles. And his social media of choice is LinkedIn.
Right.
Right? I'm like, that is cerebral as heck.
Oh, big time.
You know
his parents are proud, though. Oh,
I mean,
my boy.
He might as well have just had a Substack that you could subscribe to.
Yeah.
And you could just write.
Right.
So you have those things going for you. But I think the one thing that also keeps people from taking either one of these jobs, and it's not, again, if you're a coordinator or if you're a head coach who's got experience or whatnot, you want to be a head coach. You were born to be a leader. You understand you're going to be a leader. It's going to happen to you someday. As an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, you take your lumps wherever you're going to get them. Josh McDaniels, for example, head coach, Denver Broncos, didn't quite work out. You had the Josh McDaniels era that turned into the Josh McDaniels error. The Raiders tried to run it back. Again, didn't work. Where does he end up? Right back where he started, in New England. And where are they right now? Getting ready to play in a Super Bowl with Carolina's own Drake May. That should tell you something about coordinators. They want to be head coaches. Not all are cut out to be. It's going to be the same way with these two positions in Arizona and Las Vegas. If you're looking for coordinators, someone will take that job, but they are weighing a number of things to get there. And I think the most important thing of all these things that we've been talking about and all the things that I have listed in the last several minutes is what's keeping them from these jobs, as they might be in the toughest divisions out there. When you think about where Arizona plays, the 3 teams ahead of the Arizona Cardinals, and you have to play them 6 times, by the way. 6 times. One of them's in the Super Bowl, in the Seattle Seahawks. The other one has the probable NFL MVP in Matthew Stafford and an offensive genius in Sean McVay. And the other one is the San Francisco 49ers, who got blown out, excuse me, who got blown out by Seattle in the playoffs, but not because they were bad, but because literally they had me and Victoria lining up at offensive guard, left and right guard.
Right.
They had nobody healthy on that team.
No.
I'm not speaking out of turn, am I?
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't think I am.
Mm-mm.
So that's a rough division. Let's go to the Raiders side, shall we? In the West there, it's not any simpler. Denver was a missed spot, maybe, an injured quarterback away from making the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Chargers, led by another Harbaugh, now being led by an offensive coordinator who's the mad Best Buy South Beach genius in Mike McDaniel, with a quarterback who keeps getting hit and keeps getting back up in Justin Herbert. And did I also forget the Kansas City Chiefs?
Oh, those guys.
That's the division that you play in. So you know, if you're going to either one of these jobs, maybe Arizona's probably the better of the two, not because of the talent, but because you know the hook won't be as quick. Because you are in some rough waters, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That NFC West, again, you got to play those teams 6 times.
Yeah, and the Chiefs have won or been in the Super Bowl 5 of the last 10 Super Bowls. So that division rival, good luck with them.
Right, so for me, not a big surprise.
No.
But importantly, it's the competition. And how long am I renting or am I buying, right? When I take this job, am I renting a place or am I buying a place because I have a good interest rate?
Mm-hmm.
That is a big thing to be thinking about. Paul Ihander in for Adam Gold today. I'm on all the socials. I'm not very hard to find. You can hit me up there, ask me questions, follow me. Sometimes I post, sometimes I don't, but I promise you it will be useful to you. Coming up next, pew pew, one-timers on the Adam Gold Show.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Last call. Last call for, no, not that, for football. You know what? That rhymes too. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, one final shot at FanDuel Glory Super Bowl 60. FanDuel making sure you're in on it. If you are a new customer, bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or just throwing a dart at the dartboard, it does not matter. Make it count. FanDuel.com/local. It's over after the Super Bowl. FanDuel.com/local. Get started. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Sometimes the simplest steps make the biggest difference. Washing your hands often, staying home when you're sick, and talking with your health provider about vaccines.
Help keep your family protected against the flu, RSV, and COVID. Simple steps, big protection.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
PBS North Carolina premieres an all-new season of the music series Shaped by Sound, featuring 13 North Carolina artists, including Grammy winner Anthony Hamilton, Rock Band Wednesday singer-songwriter Ben Folds, and NC Music Hall of Famer Jim Lauderdale, among others. Watch as they perform in the studio and share the stories behind their songs. Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. on PBS NC or stream anytime on the free PBS app. Learn more about PBS North Carolina at pbsnc.org.
One Adam. Gold. One Adam. Gold.
Turtle cake? Like, what do we... What?
Isn't that an ice cream?
What? Where's the confetti cake? Because, hello, confetti cake, delicious. With the little, I don't even know if it's real, but the little dots in the icing, like...
None of these are real.
What kind of fake thing that is, but it's delicious. It's my childhood. Like, that wasn't in the top 10. His opinion's invalid to me.
The Adam Gold Show.
Mark Morrison. That's not my name. I'm Paul Ihander, but there you go. Return of the Mac.
Yes.
Return of the Adam. That won't be until next week. That's okay.
Yeah.
But you get me for today. Paul Ihander in for Adam Gold today on the Adam Gold Show. It's great to be here. Victoria is here as well. I suppose we should just dive right into it, shall we? And, yeah, there we are. One-timers. One of my favorite parts of the Adam Gold Show, because Just fire away, Victoria.
I know.
Fire away.
And we could talk about anything. I like to remind people on our YouTube stream, or if you have me on Twitter, you can talk about anything. It can be any sports or even food related. Sometimes we've had the best ones food related.
Love you some food.
I know.
I get it. That's totally cool.
Oh, yeah. But first up, we have from J.E. Drift. The NHL only has a few days left to beat the most hat tricks in a single month. What's the odds we smash the record, and why is it going to be Aho?
Why is it going to be Aho with a hat trick?
Let's go, Aho.
A hat trick? Sure, why not?
In overtime.
If we're gonna make it happen, let's just make it happen. I'm not sure if it's Aho's going to be the hat trick guy, but I've been wrong about Sebastian Aho in the past. I've criticized him for not shooting enough, but that's not really his role. He's the playmaking guy. And he plays with the line mates and Andrei Svechnikov and Seth Jarvis. His role is to design ideas and implement them when it comes to scoring. It could be Sebastian Aho, fantastic. The NHL is on a bit of a scoring heater right now. You can see it in games you think would be close. I think part of that has to do with what we just talked about in kind of talking a bit about the Hurricanes-Kraken matchup. Is that we are still seeing a lot more goalie rotation these days as opposed to kind of true dominant number ones. And for Carolina, they were blessed, lucked into, whatever you want to call it, into having a Brandon Bussey between the pipes, who will probably go again tonight, at least by all reports. But the NHL's scoring, for a while there, it was about goalies having really large pads, really large blockers, using sticks. I was a fan of any goalie who stood over 6'4", 6'5", because they covered up a lot more of those cracks and little knocks in the armor, so to speak, between the pipes. But now the skills are there where it's slanted the other way. The ice is tilted in favor of scoring forwards and whatnot. You see it. You saw it last year with Austin Matthews. You see it this year with Nathan McKinnon of Colorado. They're unstoppable. And you will probably see more and more of those type goal scorers as they age into the NHL. We've seen the turnover already, where the Stars are still playing really hard, but this next young group of guys that's coming up, they're putting the biscuit in the basket, which means we all get to eat.
Yes, I know. Who doesn't love the free Chick-fil-A too the next day if we win at home?
If you want it to be Sebastian Aho, fine. If he sets a record, fine. I'm all for it.
Yes, exactly. A lot of people would probably win many bets with that one. Next up, what is your opinion on Will Wade? Is he taking the wrong approach in his coaching style?
Will Wade, interesting. This is an interesting question. I said on my show a couple days ago, I understand why Wolfpack fans like Will Wade, because he dwells on the past a lot, and he's mad about the past a lot. And for those of you who are in relationships, the things that get brought up from, say, a week ago that you did that you don't remember doing, or something that you may have done a year ago that you don't remember doing, and it comes back to haunt you, that is kind of Will Wade. Now, will I say I like a balanced Will Wade with a little passive-aggressive? Yes. I like that Will Wade more than I like outlandish, pound-the-table Will Wade. But whatever it is, he does get the message across because he does demand excellence. And I think that's something that, at least in this new day and age of coaching, and he understands it. He knows players are getting paid. He knows that there's a lot more money on the line, and this does factor into it. He knows guys are getting paid. And if you aren't performing, what do? Well, I'm going to bench you, because they're going to leave anyway. If you send me to the bench and I signed a deal to play for you for, say, $200,000, I'm just making this up, folks, by the way. I don't know exact numbers. And I go to the bench, I can leave. Because I've played at now a Power 4 school or whatever school, I can go somewhere else. Because I can command that kind of money. So I'm going to play the guys that play the best. And I'm going to demand excellence out of those who were brought in here, who are being paid a ton of money, because that's the only judgment you get. When you roll into a new school, football, softball, basketball, women's basketball, baseball, whatever revenue-generating sport there are that is getting paid the revenue share dollars, that $20.5 million or whatever it is, and getting NIL deals, that's the only thing they can judge you on. It's unfair. It's unfair that they have to tie income to performance, but that's the only metric that they have. And I think Will Wade understands that because he's a metrics guy. He's looking into things like, how do we steal a tip and how do we convert? How do we get better jump balls against opponents with certain officials? He is truly dialed into all of that. But back to the original question, I do approve of what he's doing. Again, I like the little bit more kind of reserved, passive-aggressive Wade because that one seems to be a bit more balanced than the one who's pounding the table, demanding, why didn't we grab 16 rebounds when we didn't get 15 instead? So there you go.
Next up, we've got one from Chris. With Trocheck being heavily linked to the Canes,
oh my goodness,
what do you see us giving up to bring Trocheck back?
Nothing. I don't want to do any more deals with the New York Rangers. I joke. But I really am trying to get away from the Rangers because we've already done the good deal, right? For Keandre Miller, the Carolina Hurricanes and Eric Tulsky and the Brain Trust have already done the good deal. But I want to answer the question. I don't want to poo-poo the question because you asked a legitimate question. What will it take for Vinny Trocheck, who, by the way, is being targeted by a number of teams from everything that I've read and heard? He's like top 5 in terms of trade boards. So if the Carolina Hurricanes are going to go after Vincent Trocheck, and Canes fans who love certain players are going to hate it, but someone has to go, right? Somebody has to go. It's not going to be part of your youth movement. It will most likely be, the package would be a Jesper Kotkaniemi because of just the money matches, first of all. The money matches. It will probably be also someone in your farm club that's going to help them because the Rangers are rebuilding. A full youthful rebuild that is happening there. So expect, and you're going to hate for me to say it, but I'm not sure how he cracks the lineup anytime soon, AHL All-Star Bradley Nadeau. Yep. It's going to take those, and you have some picks coming up that are first-rounders. And for me, if I'm doing that, I give up my 2026 first-rounder because when's that kid going to make the club if I'm picking? The goal is to pick at the end if that pick happens to be number 32. That's what I think what it will take to pry Trocheck from the New York Rangers. I love one-timers. Paul Eihander in for the Adam Gold Show today. We keep on rolling.
Delivering more hits than the Canes forecheck.
Shoot, he scores!
The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
We lucked out this past weekend on not getting the worst case ice storm scenario. They're already looking ahead to another potential snow situation for this weekend. Even more reason to stay stocked up. I'm Victoria Vodenecker here for Blue Shark Vodka, which is a locally owned business that produces the smoothest and cleanest vodka. And who knows what kind of weather we might get this weekend, so if you missed your opportunity for a card night and cocktails, this could be the perfect timing. Blue Shark Vodka is the shark without the bite, so throw it in any cocktail or drink it straight. And go check them out at your local ABC store.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan.
And me, Chris Lee from WRAL TV.
We're in the offseason, but our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics, rolls on.
In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Panthers news as the NFL draft approaches.
Insights on free agents and prospects.
Plus all the insider info on who the Panthers want to pick at number 19.
Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. And there's no time like now to stop what you're doing and join with the K-Yow Cancer Fund in the fight against all cancers affecting women. I'm Jenny Palmentier, CEO of the K-Yow Cancer Fund. From now through January 31st, Triangle Area Bojangles will donate all proceeds from Bowberry biscuit sales to the K-Yow Cancer Fund. Just buy a Bowberry, do some good, and get something good. So what are you waiting for? Hurry, it's bow time.
In World War I, American fighter pilots covering a plane's rear position coined the phrase, "I've got your six," to mean I've got your back. Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org using the number 6.
Low mortgage rates are back. Listen, Loan Pronto has fixed-rate mortgages with APRs as low as 4.89%, lowest in years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Smart homeowners are taking advantage of this while they can. If you got stuck in a 6% loan, you can lower your payment big time. Or you can keep your primary mortgage intact and get cash out of your equity with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. One homeowner just got $250,000 out of their home. They paid off all their credit cards and some car loans and cut their monthly expense by $2,000. Call now and see what option works best for you. But don't miss the big rate drop of 2026. Ask about new home loans, VA loans, full cash out refis, or their famous Rapid Equity Loan. You can close in less than 2 weeks, and you may be able to skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal with no hard credit pull. Call 919-381-1760 now, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brian's headed to the basketball court, but he's sick of this check engine light. So he goes to AutoZone for the free Fix Finder service,
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
where a friendly AutoZoner reads the light in just a few minutes and gives him a detailed report,
No big, just a loose gas cap.
and gets him to the court with a tight gas cap and tighter defense. The free Fix Finder service at AutoZone. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It was a one-team market for Sam Darnold. The team that he won 14 games with last year didn't want him. The other teams around the National Football League, none of them really wanted him. Seattle paid him, but if you look at the structure of that contract, it really is a year-to-year proposition. And they were rewarded for taking a chance on Sam Darnold with him taking them to the Super Bowl.
In life, we all have regrets, right? Minnesota probably having regrets right now.
Big time.
Big time regrets. Hey, everybody. Paul Ihander in for Adam Gold today. Great to be with you today. Adam letting me sit in for the first time on this final Thursday of January. And Victoria's here. It's the wonderful, melodic, intelligent voice you hear on the other side of the glass.
Well, thank you. It's warm over here. Do you need to
Stop
thaw
it.
out?
Oh, my gosh. You know, it's funny. I actually think I had to, like, scrape my legs out of this chair because of how cold it is in this studio.
Meanwhile, I'm like, the equipment just pumps out so much heat that, like, usually an hour into the show, that's when everything's really radiating.
Right?
That's why sometimes if people are watching on YouTube, I have to layer because it's just, yeah. I'll sweat myself out over here.
I want to unplug my laptop because if I do that, it'll warm up. Like, it actually warms up because right now it's not running on the battery power. But
right.
if I unplug it, it would warm this thing up. Maybe I could just set it in my lap.
I know. It would be like hot hands. You could just...
I would take anything right now at this point. I'm like, it's like, I'm not shattering in here. Again, the thermostat, for those of you who have been monitoring this little soap opera here, the thermostat in the studio here, in the studios where the Adam Gold Show originates at 99.9 The Fan in Raleigh, right here in the beautiful state of North Carolina. Hello, everybody, by the way. It says 71, and it's not 71 in here.
Yeah.
By any means necessary. That is a just flat-out lie.
To make you feel better. It's just a mental trick to make you think that it's warm in there.
It doesn't make me feel better. I have a jacket in my office. I probably could go get some tea and make some tea, just something to warm up. But anyway, you know what? That's me complaining about nothing. There are people out there that are like, you know, Paul, man, I work out every day. I'm on the roof every day at my job site, and it's, 40 degrees out here, and I'm wearing my leathers on, and I've got my boots on, and I've got 3 pair of wool socks and long johns, and it's still cold. Shut up. You're in a studio. I'm like, you're right. You're right. Having done hands-on labor, having the calluses to prove it, and there's pictures of me working in a field, I promise you, I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to complain too much, but still I am.
Yeah, well,
I'm a baby. I'm a baby. It should be warmer in here. Someone should be like rubbing my feet and getting the feeling back in them.
You're just owning it, just like your Hill with the Arizona sweatshirt. You're owning it that it's cold, but you're also just peeling back the curtain a little bit and just letting folks know what it's like in the studio.
I suppose. The Carolina Hurricanes have some thinking to do for sure. It is a hockey night in Carolina, hockey night in Hartford as we run it back here in our little Take Two segment. The Carolina Hurricanes on the ice tonight, back for the first time since this weekend. It's been a long time coming. They take on the Utah Mammoth tonight. The Mammoth out of the West. First time these two teams will play this season. Tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes, Brandon Bussey will most likely be in net. Head coach Rod Brind'Amour does believe that we will see the return of Shane Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere, for the past month or two, has been in and out of the lineup due to what has been described as a lower body injury. Guys, just think of the most painful lower body injury you can think of, and then that's what it is. Okay? Yeah. That's what it is. Without a body part falling off, just imagine taking a stick to a certain part of your anatomy and then amplify that by not actually knowing what's going on. And that has been Shane Gostisbehere. So hopefully he's able to come back and quarterback power play 1. So the Canes have some work ahead of them to kind of keep the ball rolling, to kind of keep things on the up and up for the Canes as they try to just stay ahead in the Metropolitan Division. They are a couple points ahead of the rest of the field, and they're just 1 point behind the Tampa Bay Lightning, I apologize, who are tops in terms of points and also have a game in their pocket as they go into the Eastern Conference. They're on top with 70 points. They will play Winnipeg tonight at home. So it's very important for the Carolina Hurricanes to stay rolling, keep that momentum going. Now, I will say for these teams, between the Mammoth and the Canes, the Mammoth with Vejmelka in net, he has been super solid and a big part of this recent run. He is the primary goalie. 25 of the 28 wins for the Utah Mammoth have been on the shoulders of Karel Vejmelka. 6'4", 221 pounds. Sounds like an Intercontinental Wrestling champion. He stops a lot of stuff. And the Carolina Hurricanes, who have not been on the ice, hopefully don't have a lot of rust and can squeak a few by him. I do not expect a high-scoring game. I do not like the wagers on this one. As a matter of fact, had a couple people text me as I'm doing this show asking me for some advice in terms of what to do for the Carolina Hurricanes in betting this game tonight. I do not like betting on this game tonight.
Yeah.
I do not like this one.
It's giving me the Blackhawks vibes.
Okay.
Like anything could happen with these younger spunky teams. Like you can't sleep on them because they're trying to build their way out. Like the Sharks, they're another one. The
Yeah.
Sabres, they're
Yeah, Buffalo, San Jose, you're right. Buffalo, San Jose, Anaheim falls in that role, and Utah for sure. The Mammoth, as they come to town, they've been playing very good hockey. 8-1-1 in their last 10. So they have risen very quickly. They're in a wild card spot if the playoffs began today. So the Canes got some work cut out for them at Lenovo Center. And according to The Athletic, at the Lenovo Center, kind of one of the middling hockey places to play in the NHL. They don't like it because it's in the middle of nowhere, but they like it because it's in the middle of nowhere because there's lots of tailgating action. And to be fair, the hockey's pretty darn good there.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn good there. Now, the Canes, ahead of the roster freeze of the Winter Olympic Games in Italy, which, hey, I'm excited for the Olympics. I love me some good Olympic games.
Me too.
The Canes have some decisions to make. Now, they can stand pat and not really have to do anything. And I think a lot of it will have to do with the rest of the NHL and who gets hungry for whatever it is that they're looking for on the trade market. And the Carolina Hurricanes, I do expect to be active in the trade market. This is not a perfect team. We certainly have deficiencies in a few places, but you are talking about adaptability as opposed to ability. I stole that, by the way, from Jets head coach Aaron Glenn. He sometimes adaptability is better than ability.
Wow, look at him.
And so for the Carolina Hurricanes and Rod Brind'Amour's system of play, you need guys that are adaptable and not necessarily the ones who have ability. And it belongs in both places. So the Canes have some thinking to do here. If they need to just sit and wait, let the rosters hold over through the Olympic break, and then come back on the other side and really have 10 days. 10 days to figure it out. 10 days to go, this is the team we're riding with into the postseason, or this is the team that needs one more thing. And we get word last night, and I'm not trying to talk crazy, but I'm just trying to have a little hypothetical chat with all of you around the proverbial campfire. We've done business with this team before, the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers last night decided that they were not going to play a 34-year-old Artemi Panarin through the Olympic break. Now, what does that tell you? Well, that tells you, one, that the New York Rangers are fully committed to tank. They are ready to reset, restart, and by the moves that they've made, they have certainly sent a number of players out already, of course, to the other teams around the conference, which is good news.
And they had a scrappy little game yesterday with the Islanders.
They did indeed. So, who's available? The top two on the athletic trade board, and I go right there too, and I believe they're in the top 5 of the TSN trade center board as well, Artemi Panarin, who I just mentioned is sitting, and Vincent Trocheck, who is playing actively. And everyone argues against Artemi Panarin right now, even though he is a proven goal scorer. And again, we're talking about adaptability and ability. This buy for most hockey teams in the NHL would be more about ability. The ability to fill things up. The ability to draw attention. 19 goals, 38 assists, and has played in all but 2 of the Rangers games, and it's also because he's sitting. So he's going to be fully healthy and rested for his next stop. That's the one thing a lot of folks don't think about. He will be fully rested.
I would love him to come here.
You would love Artemi Panarin.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him at all. He showed a lot of promise in Chicago. I think it was kind of a terrible idea that they let him go. So, yeah, no, he's a good puzzle piece. He works well with guys. He makes stuff happen.
Okay.
He's a little snappy.
And it's
now,
true,
I know
he
he's
does.
probably too old for the Canes, though.
34 years old,
That's
yes.
the thing.
34. Well.
Quote, old.
Old.
I hate saying that.
Jordo, hey, happy birthday, buddy.
I know.
Happy birthday. Again, hypothetical. If you're willing to make that kind of a deal, and we know that the Carolina Hurricanes are willing to make swings, and we know that salary and money is no issue. Boy, they can walk into the store. They walk into that electronics store like we all dream of.
Oh, yeah.
And you go, what do I need here today?
Yes, I'll take the guac on the side.
Yeah, right. You know what? You can make that in front of me.
Yeah.
You can make that in front of me. I will pay the
there.
extra. Bring out that damn cart.
Exactly.
You know what? You can light that on fire, too.
Right. Why not?
Right.
The little, what is it, Dr. Pepper shots or what?
Yes. Yes, the Dr. Pepper shots. I was thinking more creme brulee, Victoria, but hey, you do you.
Different side.
You do you.
We were talking campfire.
We were indeed. So if it's the Rangers, and again, I'm not crazy about doing as much business with the Rangers as we've already done. And I say we, but the Carolina Hurricanes have already done business with the Rangers for Keandre Miller. And that ended up in the departure of, some picks and some assets. And that's what happens. So if you got to run it back, the Rangers are going to want something a little bit more substantial in return, which means players. And as you know, no good trade will ever happen without giving something up. And that's the realization that I think hockey fans have to figure out, the realization that not all trades are made the same. So to get something like that, you're going to have to give up something like that in return. And the Canes may not have enough in return outside of future draft picks. And to be fair, and I'm being fair to the New York Rangers, and I know there are Rangers fans who are listening, to be fair, the Carolina Hurricanes picks aren't exactly the sexiest. If you're the Carolina Hurricanes, you are picking at the end of the rounds. You are not picking at the beginning. So that is certainly something to think about. We talked about the weather quite a bit. Coming up next, Joel Bryant of highschoolot.com will be joining us. And there's some shakeups when it comes to North Carolina high school sports you're going to want to be aware of, and perhaps some controversies brewing as well. Paul Ihander in for Adam Gold. It's the Adam Gold Show.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, the Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Utah.
Back to Thompson, they score.
He
saved it. I thought he saved it. Oh, dear, Bussy.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Lukanen with the save. Rebound, they score. Seth Jarvis on the power play. Followed his shot and found the back of the net.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Dear hero, whoever you are, you save lives. I live with sickle cell and the pain and the issues that come along with sickle cell every day. I've had lots and lots of blood transfusions over my lifetime, probably in the hundreds. Blood helps me to be able to live.
My final tour was in Afghanistan in 2008. I was hit June 3rd. The next thing I remember, I woke up in Germany. The doctor came in and said, we're going to amputate your leg. I had to get a lot of blood transfusion to stay alive.
Because of you, I'm allowed to see my son grow up.
Because of you, I got a second chance at life.
Giving equals living. Give blood. Replenish the supply. Make an appointment to give today by visiting hhs.gov/giveblood. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Pondering prizes with Cash Pop? Why pick just one pop when you can pick as many pops as you please? Up to 15. Picture this. You pick your pop, perhaps a powerful 7. Now pick more pops like a proud 9, a pristine 15, a perfect 10. Each pop propagates more potential to pack your pockets with prizes up to $2,500. So prepare for a peppering of prizes with Cash Pop from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Cash Pop. Play more pops, win more prizes. Must be 18 to play. See Cash Pop prize and odds charts at nclottery.com. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Folks, it's back and it's better than ever. Dennis Cox here from my friends over at Law Tigers. The Law Tigers are once again teaming up with your Carolina Hurricanes to give one lucky Caniac a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle courtesy of Art Moto Garage and Shiny Side Paint. Last time that you can enter this contest is March 29th, but don't wait, folks. Go to caniacsbike.com to enter. Again, caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. And there's no time like now to stop what you're doing and join with the K-Yow Cancer Fund in the fight against all cancers affecting women. I'm Jenny Palmentier, CEO of the K-Yow Cancer Fund. From now through January 31st, Triangle Area Bojangles will donate all proceeds from Bowberry biscuit sales to the K-Yow Cancer Fund. Just buy a Bowberry, do some good, and get something good. So what are you waiting for? Hurry, it's bow time.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
Is he married to a person or just himself? Because that, I feel like that's very Aaron Rodgery of him to have the twist in there.
It's a very good question.
Oh, I don't know. We still don't know if it's a person.
Would he get down on one knee to ask himself over an ayahuasca?
Yes.
The Adam Gold Show.
It is the Adam Gold Show. Paul Ihander in for Adam today on this final Thursday of January. Victoria is here as well, and joining me in studio from High School OT, highschoolot.com, is the managing editor, Joel Bryant. Joel, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you. I didn't realize that was my title, actually.
You're a little bit of everything.
Cool.
I'm gonna give you. What do you want to be called?
Well,
like a king.
You are my boss, so that's up to you.
The emperor, the duke of high schoolness, whatever you want to be. So with this weather coming in, again, I don't want to beleaguer the fact that we might have 1 or 100 inches of snow coming up this weekend, but it has messed up kind of North Carolina high schools' plans to like hold championships in districts this week, hasn't it?
Yeah. So right now we're approaching the regional finals for swimming and wrestling. Well, we're not going to have regional finals for swimming anymore. Because they've been canceled because of the storm.
Did the pool freeze?
No, so they use these various aquatic centers. So like there's the Triangle Aquatic Center here in Cary. There's the Poland One Estate. There's one in Greensboro. There's one in Mecklenburg County. So they have these venues where they do the swimming.
Sure.
And they have contracts to where they're only going to be in there for these days. And then when winter storm comes, they can't just reschedule everything so easily, right? Because there's other people that use these facilities. It's not like high schools where, wrestling, they do regionals in high schools. So if we move the regional days for wrestling, that's easy to move because high schools aren't.
Right, yeah, you've got the space. You can move gym class for one day.
Yeah, exactly. So what's happened is they've canceled the regional finals for diving and swimming, and they're just advancing these kids to the state championship games next week. All the divers are going to the state championships, but only about 70% of the swimmers that qualified for regionals are going to the states, which is more than what would have been a normal year. But they're kind of adding some extra qualifiers there to kind of lessen the blow there.
Okay, so with all this movement going around, I mean, how does this affect the student athletes? I'm like, it's not like they can jump into a pool, right? Because these were reserved for. I mean, can they? I mean, how do you stay? I mean, specifically for swimming, how do you stay just kind of like in touch with yourself and kind of like training regimen, knowing like, okay, well, I was set to qualify and I was using that as a way to springboard myself into championships. I'm assuming you just whatever pool time you can get is whatever you can get at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's limited, right? Like we don't have many of these places where people can practice and everything. So that'll be interesting, how they kind of prepare for the state championships next week without. I'm sure there's going to be closures in the state. I don't want to be a weatherman on here. But,
right, no, I get it. We're not trying to freak people out.
Yeah,
we're not.
It's probably going to be pretty hard to get the normal regimen in, I would say.
Okay, so diving's going to go on. Swimming's doing algorithmic whatever it is to try to figure out who's going to make it.
The unfortunate thing is, it's only going to be about 70% of the swimmers that are going to advance. So there's about 30% or so that thought they had at least one more meet coming up.
Right,
some of them are seniors. So that is kind of tough. A lot of parents upset about it. They found my email, and I'm not in charge of the swimming, but they found my email telling me about it.
They think you're in charge of swimming, Joel.
I'm not in charge of it, and they understand it's just it's a logistical thing, right? They don't want to end these kids' seasons early if they didn't have to do it, but they have to do it because of the contracts and everything with the venues.
Joel Bryant of High School OT joining us here during the Adam Gold Show. Joel, so obviously this has got to be tough. For high school athletes who've devoted their entire careers, this was kind of going to be it, right? I mean, you're up at 5 a.m. and you're in the pool by 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and you go through your regimen, then you go to school and you're training and you're around. And swimming is a different kind. Every sport has its own quirks when it comes to training and practice and whatnot. And there are different kinds of animals. Like I believe, distance runners are different kinds of folks because they burn through shoes and get up and do weird things that are called fartleks. And you think fartlek's funny. And then you go and talk about swimming, where, again, you talk about limited time, right? Limited pool time. I got to get up super early. I'm doing all this training. It's got to be just incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, it has to be. You get that kind of visual in your mind, right? You're going to go to the regional. It's going to be a big event. There's going to be so many people there, more people there than the conference meets for sure. So, yeah, it is tough. But ultimately, I think, people are going to come to realize that the guys that are going to the swimming state championships are probably the ones that would have won anyways, just based off the times that we know about. Surely there could have been someone there that maybe had a surprise meet that could advance, but it's unlikely.
And any effects on girls, boys basketball at this point? I know we've had a lot of games that have come through. I mean, this is probably just more about travel and individual kind of schools' decisions and things.
So what will happen is we have the playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks where they do the seeding and everything. There's going to be some schedule changes. There have already been schedule changes from last week.
Sure.
There's going to be some games that just don't happen tomorrow because people are afraid of the storm. So we're probably going to get some games that are rescheduled to next week and the week after. Worst case scenario, we'll probably maybe get some conference championships canceled, which are basically like the ACC tournament that happens. But
Gotcha,
they don't really
the pre-tournament, but
they
it
don't
doesn't
really
matter.
like mean anything. It's more of like a fundraising thing for the conference. So that's happened before. If that happens here, it won't change too much with the playoffs. Still, the best teams will get in and whatnot. But right now, I think we might have enough time to get everything in.
Okay. Joel Bryant, High School OT. Follow the work, highschoolot.com. Joel, before I let you go, there was an interesting survey that came out today, and I know I'm springing this on you, and you're probably not prepared for it. But I would love an honest answer, and you might have this just rooted in fact more than anything else. So there was a survey released today by U.S. Center of Safe Sport suggesting that many of the reasons why youth coaches quit in the United States is because they have to manage parents more than they have to manage the athletes on the field or the kids on the field. Have there been instances in the past? I mean, certainly I've seen a few, but maybe not so much, but maybe here in North Carolina where coaches have stepped down, at levels just saying, listen, I love coaching the kids, but the expectations are just so far out of whack that it wouldn't even be good for me to be in this chair or anybody else.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. And that's also part of why we're seeing the shortage in officials as well. The parents have gone kind of more intense over the years. And we see it, but if you talk to like an older coach that's been doing this for 30, 40 years, they'll tell you the same thing. The kids are a little bit different, and the parents are a little bit more angry, agitable, aggressive in some cases. We see videos. I saw a video last week of a middle school basketball game where there was a big brawl that happened on the court, and it was parents that were fighting. So yeah, it's been an issue. J. Mike, who's our senior writer, he thinks of it as like parents who are really invested in maybe kind of living out their dream through their child. That's where it becomes kind of an issue. But there are some really good parents as well who
Right, yeah, I'm not saying that all parents are terrible.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and it is definitely a problem, and we've noticed it from our vantage point.
Yeah, just interesting survey that came out. But they do say that there are more and more safe spaces for athletes more than anything else, and just highlights educational and training resources. And I think that's going to be the key. I mean, again, you're following high school sports on a daily basis, Joel, and you see it at different levels. In some places, is it better than others where that the district and the schools and the coaches and the parents are kind of all aligned and like, hey, listen, this is a game?
I would say it's some sports in particular, right, where it's become like a 365 deal. Okay. So like the parent and the kid are going through this whole process of like they're playing AAU and basketball throughout the summer, and they have all these different connections and different people pressing buttons and kind of managing them. We're seeing that pop up more in football with like the 7-on-7 stuff too. So parents are becoming like almost like agents for their kids, right? Where they're like shopping them around to different AAU teams and different high schools, all for the purpose of getting them the best college opportunity, best NIL opportunity in the future. So I think it's particularly in those sports right now where there's that travel component that's kind of tied in with it all that we're seeing these kind of excessive parents, I would say.
Oh, okay, well, there's something to be said about excess, but I think it's you talk about invested in their kids, and I think that goes in a couple of different areas too. The energy and the time. We just talked about swimmers getting up early, to get to the pool, whether it's by themselves or mom's driving them. We've all seen that commercial of the mom at the hockey game and she's cold, and then all of a sudden she goes to the online shopping site and buys a coat.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's still 6:30 the next morning and she's sitting there. The investment in the energy and the investment in the money.
Yeah, the money too. That's a big point.
Equipment is not cheap depending on what sport you're playing.
It's kind of like if you've been supporting your kids' sports journey since they were 5 years old and whatnot. These sports leagues are very expensive. The travel is very expensive. If you're investing, really thousands of dollars into it, then I could see why you'd, make the be-all, end-all of their kid getting a scholarship or the kid getting an NIL deal in the end. So that could be a part of it as well. Just kind of like, you've spent so much money just over the years. I could see that being a piece of it.
Joel Bryant, High School OT. Follow his writings there. Follow all his coverage there. highschoolot.com. Joel, thanks for hanging out today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Paul Eihander here on the Adam Gold Show. Paul Eihander in for Adam Gold. On The Athletic, they had a chat with Jim Phillips. Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner, 5 years in the post with the ACC. And obviously the ACC's undergone some transformation since then. Added a couple of schools, 3 as a matter of fact, in SMU, Cal, and Stanford. The interview, unfortunately, and maybe it was timing, maybe it wasn't, with Jim Phillips, happened actually before, and I say this because they made the note of it too, and as I was reading it, I was like, okay, I'm looking for the nugget because we all wanted to ask the question, how does he deal with Miami and Duke when it comes to the Darian Mensah situation? And unfortunately, The Athletic had the chat with Phillips before that lawsuit had been settled. So there, 5 years for Phillips, he's had to navigate a lot of things. There's no doubt about it. The Florida State Clemson ongoing saga, which is finally done, the idea of payouts to college football playoff, the realigning of championships and having to decide where certain championships are going. A lot of you may not know this. Women's basketball championships will not be in North Carolina this year. They're not in Greensboro. When it comes to the tournament, they're actually playing that in Georgia, in Duluth, Georgia, which is on the northeast side of Atlanta, which I've been to Gas South Arena, which is where they're planning to hold it. Gas South Arena is on the opposite end of the Atlanta area where Hartsfield International Airport is. So that's a haul for any team that's going to fly into Atlanta. They've got to go rolling all the way out to Duluth. And Gas South's a nice building. There's plenty of stuff around it. A couple of good Mexican restaurants I've been to. I'm just saying. But that's just one of the extra challenges that's come with the ACC in terms of like trying to find equity in some of those spots, also trying to find revenue and to make sure that the conference is in a good spot before they have to go into one of the most and the largest revenue generating contract sessions when it comes up in roughly 5 years. If it does come up in 5 years, maybe we're in a different landscape at that point. So for Phillips, who I've criticized from time to time for a few things, 5 years is a long time, and it's good. It's good. He's taken more than enough handshakes and kind of navigated a really weird road for conference alignment when everybody was expanding or contracting and trying to hold on to things. So I'll give him a slight hat tip. There are certainly things to work on. Adam Gold had a chat with Eric Mac Lain last week that talked about the future of the ACC, dove into some of the things that are going on with the conference, and here's that conversation.
All right, let's get to it, man. We've talked about this story now for, 2-3 days. I want to dig in here with Eric Mac Lain, ACC Network. My friend, before I get to Darian Mensah, Duke, Miami, Cooper Barkate, Duke, Miami, whatever, lawyers, billable hours, how was covering an ACC team in the national championship again?
Hey, man, it felt like good old times, right? It's been a while since 2019.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like Dan Marino. We just thought we were going to be doing this every year. It's just what we do. And we took a little break. But I will say it was amazing to be back, just to be at that game where, literally everyone who covers, college football on TV is. And, everybody in one place. It was a ton of fun, man. And just good to see the Canes. Obviously not the result that we wanted. But, man, a great game, great showing, and just two teams that I think were truly number one and number two in the country. And it usually, hasn't happened like that for us in recent history.
It hasn't happened for us. And I think because just in the broad picture of the national championship game maybe even more so than the game itself, but the playoff, the tournament, is that it showed that the talent has spread out and that the tournament itself is likely going to continue to be more unpredictable than people think, which makes the whole product better, no?
No, I totally agree, man. And just to hit the, talent distribution, I mean, it's incredible to see, how that is happening and what teams are good and how, in this tournament, teams are able to get hot, right? I mean, that's something that, we've thought of recent history and you say, man, if this team just got in, what would they do? And that's exactly what Miami was able to prove. So I'm right there with you. I love it. It just came out today that we're going to stay at, the 12 teams, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go to 16 pretty quickly.
I think we will get to 16, but the Big Ten won't agree to that until we get to 24. Is 24?
Might as well do 64. Why stop at 24? Just keep going.
Thank you. So we all agree that 24 is ridiculous, but the Big Ten wants that because they have insecurity like me in my dating years. They want guarantees. You can't be guarantees like, you can't guarantee 6 teams from the Big Ten are going to get in. They're going to get the teams in that deserve. They got the teams in that deserved it this year. So did the SEC. We could argue whether or not the ACC and the Big 12 did, but I mean they were at the bottom of the pool either way. So I just think the Big Ten is exhibiting a whole bunch of insecurity.
No, I agree with you, and that's outrageous. I mean, that's so much extra football, and that's, I don't know, man. That's way too many. That's way too many games. I don't think there's 24 teams now. It certainly looked like this year maybe there were 16 or maybe there were 14.
Yeah.
But that's a big number, man. I think that's outrageous.
It is, and I think even Greg Sankey, who I don't believe really cares about the sport, he's just looking at money and power. But that's my editorial comment there. Even he goes, 24 is crazy. We don't want 24. All right, let me ask you about what's going on between Duke and Miami right now. Darian Mensah.
Something happening? What's going on?
Billable hours is going on. As somebody who played, as somebody who you and I have not necessarily gotten into the nitty gritty on, perspective. Do you look at it from a school standpoint? Do you look at it from a player's perspective? I try to take the player's perspective on this. But with that said, a contract is a contract, and there are ways to get out of contracts. And Mensah probably could have gotten out of this contract had he handled this better. But, I mean, this whole thing is a mess, and the only winners here are going to be lawyers. His reputation is going to be forever, I think, damaged by this. I mean, he could still play well, and that maybe we'll all forget it in time, but what are your thoughts on what's going on here?
Yeah, I think it's a multi viewpoint of how to look at this thing, right? From Darian Mensah, a guy that comes from a single family that is trying to do the best that he can for his parents, and allegedly a team comes in and offers him unbelievable, double almost the amount of money that you're making. How do we, even remotely try to put ourselves in those shoes and say, well, we wouldn't do that. Right. There's no way. So it's crazy to see that. Now, again, being a man of my word, I hope that I am, and trying to, do things that I say that I'm going to do. And that's a weird spot. And especially just the timing of it, like the last day, the last hour, in the shadows of whatever. It's a super strange thing, man. And then I think of it from the teammates. Then I think of it from Cooper and from others that decided to stay or come to Duke just to play with him, and how crazy that is. And just, being able to, kind of change your mind and not think of others' repercussions. And then I think of Duke, kind of lastly, it's obviously a massive entity. It'll be fine. It's going to be okay. But they're screwed from a quarterback standpoint. They can't go get anybody and, do this and that. Now, are there a couple of other guys left in the portal? Sure. But no one even close to the caliber that he is. And so it's a total thing, man, where you're just, it doesn't seem like it's good business. It doesn't seem like it's, the right thing to do. But, I guess the right thing to do is to worry about yourself. And that's what it seems like everyone is doing these days, schools included. Yeah, true.
Eric Mac Lain, ACC Network, is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Duke's, remedy here is going to be financial, whether it's money back from Mensah, whether it's a buyout paid by Miami. I think they're what will satisfy them, and I don't use satisfy in they'll feel better about it, but will be determined is that they will get money as a result of what's going to happen here. And Mensah will be playing at Miami next season. I don't know. There's nobody in the portal really now. The quarterback from San Jose State.
Right.
I don't think Duke is really that interested in him. Maybe they will be because there aren't a lot of options. But I wonder, is there a freshman? an incoming freshman, somebody who has not yet signed a letter of intent at another school, that Duke can say, well, we got $10 million from Miami. Would you like to come here and do all the things Darian Mensah did? I can see something like that happening, no?
Yeah. Or go get an NFL quarterback that's only played 1 year and wants to come back to school. Go get that guy. Let's figure that out.
Philip Rivers.
I know, man. Yeah, Philip Rivers. It's a bizarre circumstance, and even I had somebody ask me the other day, like, what's the point of Duke doing this? Like, they don't want him back. There's no way that you want that guy back in your locker room running the show, and who would want that? And unless there's some serious, like, not therapy, but therapy, between the school, the team, and the quarterback himself. So I think it is about financials, and I think it is about trying to set a precedence of this can't happen, whether it's them or Clemson, who's about to have a press conference maybe now, kind of on their way ahead with the situation with the young man that transferred, signed, went to meetings, went to school, and then somehow back in the portal. I mean, it's the most bizarre thing.
Eric Mac Lain is joining us here from the ACC Network. A couple of more things, and then I'll let you go. Here's the thing that happened with Washington. Damon Williams, the quarterback at Washington, who put his name in the portal after signing a contract, and the rumor was he was going to go to LSU. And Washington threatened a lawsuit, and ultimately Williams decided to stay in Seattle at the university. And that's great. Good for him. That was a decision he made. My feeling then was, man, why would you as Washington, why would you sue a player? Because recruiting, not only are you recruiting that player, but you're recruiting the next players and the next players after that. So why would you want to put yourself in an adversarial relationship with not this player, but future players? And when I saw this happening at Duke, I'm like, man, I hope Duke doesn't do this, because it's hard enough to recruit to Duke that I wouldn't want to put anything in the way of future players wanting to come here. And whether you agree with Duke or not, and I agree with Duke being the aggrieved party here, but it comes off right now as Duke is being angry. And I think that's a bad thing to be perceived at or as going forward, even if they have to take the hit on the field for a year, and that is terrible. I think I think it would benefit them in the long run to just get their money from Miami and move on.
Yeah, that's a fascinating thing, and I think getting the money, like, that's the purpose of it, because it is fascinating with what you're saying there about how Duke is perceived, if that's the general consensus, because I think Duke is also perceived of giving somebody $8 million that maybe wasn't fully proven. I mean, at the end of the day, when that happened, we were all like, what? Who is this kid? And so, obviously it worked out, got him an ACC championship, and, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. So I don't know. I totally hear what you're saying, and maybe it is, what have you done lately type thing, where maybe that's what rubs off. But it's going to be fascinating just how all this ends up, because you got one side, again, allegedly Miami, that's very confident in this situation, and the other in Duke, who I've heard that they're confident in what they're going to get the outcome. So where it lies and where it finishes will be so interesting.
Well, legally speaking, I don't know that anybody has a better case in this than Duke. I mean, there's an ironclad. The contract was written, it sounds like grant of rights. The ACC was always going to win.
We found out how ironclad those were.
Well, I mean, but the ACC backed away because they also saw the end game. But if it went to court, ultimately everybody signed that agreement knowingly. The ACC would have won that agreement, but at what cost? Would the victory come? And Duke would win this agreement. I'm very confident of that. But at what cost? Like, it doesn't make any sense to sue a player or sue a fellow member institution. Ultimately, for Mensah's career, it is probably better that he plays at Miami and plays for a national championship, or puts himself in that position and maybe goes to the NFL. I mean, he had a great year at Duke, and Duke will have to bask in that glory. and they won a title, which they haven't won since the 1962 in terms of outright winning an ACC. So for Duke, the settlement and whatever financial penalty Miami and Mensa have to pay, that's Duke's victory. And then you've got the framework, the structure of a good program. Be confident that you can rebuild the roster. They got a lot of other guys, by the way, that left before Mensa and Barkate left, and so they've got other rebuilding to do anyway. So and by the way, their schedule looks murderous. So even if they all stayed, I mean, I'm not sure Duke is better than like 8-4 next year. Five road games, and it seems like all of those 5 are potential losses. I hope you have a great off season, but I'm going to bother you anyway because why not?
As you should, and I look forward to those texts and those calls. I will say, you're close or in a frozen tundra. I am walking on the beach. It's 65 and sunny, and life is good.
Why are you doing that? What? That was unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary. Don't you have a podcast to record?
We'll figure it out. It's the off-season.
All right, man. Eric Mac Lain, ACC Network, all the podcasts. Gramlich and Mac Lain, he's going to work out with strength and conditioning coaches for nothing because he can. And I appreciate your time, man. Enjoy your offseason. I'll talk to you soon.
Good to get some of that perspective from Eric Mac Lain of the ACC Network. Adam Gold, again, that was pre-taped several days ago, right around the time that the Mensa-Duke case was settled in terms of a deal was done. Mensa now, of course, enrolling at Miami in Florida, and the ACC, Jim Phillips, as I mentioned before we got in the interview, marking 5 years as the head of the conference, and had said prior to that, talking about a lack of restraint in how we deal with recruiting issues and how we treat each other as it relates to recruiting. That is about as strong a statement as you'll probably get from him when it comes to the relationship between Mensa leaving Duke and clearly paving a path and charting a path and ending up at Miami literally within 14 hours of that lawsuit getting put away and him being free to move about the country. Only something that'll be solved in time. I do not believe there is a perfect answer. We place bets and stretch coming up next. It's the Adam Gold Show.
Still arguing whether hockey or golf has the tougher dress code? The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
No matter your struggle, you are not alone. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is free, private, and always available. If you feel lonely, isolated, anxious, or overwhelmed, help is here all day and night. Call, text, or chat 988 without cost, without judgment, and without waiting for an appointment. You'll get support that can make a difference. Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I had questions about my child's vaccines, so I got real answers from her doctor because we share the same goal, keeping her healthy and strong. Her doctor told me that keeping up with childhood vaccines, getting them at the recommended ages and sometimes together, is a proven way to protect her from serious illnesses, ones that can be prevented with vaccines. Have questions? Get real answers. Talk to your doctor. Visit vaccinesforkids.nc.gov. Paid for by NCDHHS.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
PBS North Carolina premieres an all-new season of the music series Shaped by Sound, featuring 13 North Carolina artists, including Grammy winner Anthony Hamilton, Rock Band Wednesday singer-songwriter Ben Folds, and NC Music Hall of Famer Jim Lauderdale, among others. Watch as they perform in the studio and share the stories behind their songs. Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. on PBS NC or stream anytime on the free PBS app. Learn more about PBS North Carolina at pbsnc.org.
One Adam Gold. One Adam Gold.
I have his jersey.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you have any other jerseys or just a Jake Delhomme?
I got so many.
Do you really?
I go all the way back from Tim Biakabatuka.
Wow.
Yes. Cam, Luke, obviously, Smitty. So, yeah, I've got multiple. 6 or 7, maybe?
6, 7?
6, 7? 6, 7?
The Adam Gold Show.
BIAKABUTAKA? Biaka Batuka? There's so many. Yeah, I couldn't. I think I got it wrong. I'm close.
They should put that on a spelling bee.
Oh, Panthers spelling bee?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
That would knock them all out.
Oh.
Or at least around.
Josh Nyman. There's like a Y and a J.
Right.
Something like that.
That guy?
Yeah. Chandler Catanzaro. There's Victoria. I'm Paul. Adam Gold Show. Let's time to stretch.
Well, this next person, people could spell his name, I'm sure, fairly well.
Okay.
This was a former Chicago Bears head coach, and there is a little bit of clothing that is up for auction.
Really?
Yes, because Monday was the 40th anniversary of Super Bowl 20. And that is the only Super Bowl that the Chicago Bears have won.
We are shuffling.
Yes. Well, Mike Ditka used to wear a Bears vest.
Yes, he did.
And he wore it well. Mike, it was great. It looked cozy and warm. You need to wear that in the studio.
I do. It's cold in here. Could use a Ditka vest.
But this memorabilia is up for auction. And is there anything, before I tell you how much this is going for already, because it's a running auction, so it's not over yet.
Okay.
Is there anything that anyone, whether it's a head coach, a player, anything that you would pay a significant amount of money for?
If I had lost, say, my high school Letterman's jacket and it ended up at a thrift store or something, I might pay a little premium for that.
Yeah.
But not, I mean, maybe a Benjamin, maybe 2 Benjamins. That's about it. I'd go maybe 200.
I could see that.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, people who love Mike Ditka's vest from the good old days when you were a Bears fan, they're doing an auction, and right now the bidding is already at $82,000.
Oh my goodness.
And this is just the vest. Now, the vest does come with a letter signed by Mike, saying that he indeed did wear this vest January 26th, 1986.
Wow, okay, so authentic.
It is very authentic. It's graded.
But it's 40
everything.
years old. I'm
I
like,
know.
how is the fabric even holding up at that point?
Part of me wants to know, like, did he spritz it with his cologne too, so it smells like him?
Smells like Dicka.
Like, who knows? But the auction house says, quote, "This wasn't Nike or Reebok or someone telling a coach what to wear. This was his uniform. He was going to wear it every time." So, and Mike is still alive, by the way. He's 86 years old. For anyone who's curious.
Dicka.
He's still alive and kicking and probably wearing vests, but just not this one because they're going to sell it for over $82,000.
Bears.
So, yeah. Hey, maybe, though, we could make real good bets and make that much money.
Place your bets, place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal in Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
Okay, so I understand as etiquette goes, Victoria, you have first crack.
I'm telling you, I wish I would have actually put real money on my bets yesterday because I
Okay.
took the Islanders in the over 6.5, nailed it, plus 260. I also took the Blue Jackets over the Flyers, plus 250. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Now the Islanders and Rangers are back at it again tonight. A little sore, I'm sure, for yesterday, but they're going across the street. So now it's Rangers home, quote, home, against the Islanders. I think the Islanders are still going to win again, though, and I'm going to go with the over 5.5 because yesterday was high scoring, so why not? Plus 195.
All right, so they haven't figured it out yet. Okay,
No.
There you go. I've got some CAA men's college basketball action tonight. Campbell hosting Stony Brook. Campbell is a 5.5-point favorite. I believe the Fighting Camels, Roll Humps, will cover, and that's minus 106.
Nice. The Winnipeg Jets are going to be in Tampa, where it's probably much warmer than it is here. So give me the Tampa Bay Lightning to beat the Jets, and I'll go with the over 5.5. Maybe it'll be high scoring, so plus 175.
Okay, good action there. Like that one. I think there's value tonight in this one. Charlotte taking on the Dallas Mavericks tonight to back-to-back. Moussa Diabate had a double-double last night. I think he repeats with a double-double. That is low-hanging fruit right there for him, who had 18 points and 20 boards last night. He only needs 10 and 10 for double-double, right? Any way you can get it. So double-double for Diabate, plus 180
Nice.
on that one. Yeah.
Well, and I can't not do a Carolina Hurricanes, or should I say Hartford Whalers
Stop
bet.
it.
So they're taking on the Mammoth. Just one, not plural. There's only one Mammoth. So give me the Canes to win at home. And like you mentioned before, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. So I'll take the under 5.5. That's plus 215.
5.5.
Yeah.
Plus 215. All right, last one for me. Hockey as well. Going to Anaheim, Vancouver. I cashed in on this one on Monday, so I'm going to try it again. Jackson Lacombe, newest member of Team USA, replacing Seth Jones. He just needs one assist tonight. One assist tonight against the NHL's worst team. That is plus 100. Remember, entertainment purposes only, folks. These are just suggestions, not recommendations. Paul Eihander in for Adam Gold today. Enjoy your day.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Finally.
Yes, finally. There's an app for 99.9 The Fan.
Finally!
Listen to your favorite hosts, your teams, and live sports action.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! They are destroying the Chiefs!
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Hey hockey fans, it's Trip Tracy. If you're ready to upgrade your outdoor living space, look no further than TimberTech Decking and Railing. TimberTech is the #1 premium composite decking brand, and it's tough enough to handle anything. It looks just like real wood, but without the costly maintenance of a wood deck. It won't rot, warp, splinter, or peel, ever. And it's backed by industry-leading warranties, so your deck will last year after year. Connect with a local contractor or order free samples at TimberTech.com to see the TimberTech difference for yourself. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
Now, let's take a short break from our 8-hour ode to the oboe for a word from our sponsor, Mr. First Tuesday. Get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday. Looks like we've got a caller on the line.
How are you not more excited about new scratch-offs? There's millions in prizes.
Who is this?
Oh, this is Mr. First Tuesday. And by the way, it goes, get your scratch-offs on the very first Tuesday.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
Creighton Blackwell here with Coastal Credit Union and 99.9 The Fan. We are here at Southeast Raleigh High School where we're celebrating the next scholar athlete, Dariah Harris.
When it came to her working abilities, she was always about making sure that she kept the work done and it was handed in on time and that she gave her best.
Dariah as a teammate she's like the joy of the team. She's like amazing. She just encourages us, and even if she's not having a good play, she doesn't get in her head, so she like does what needs to be done and while helping the team.
When we're down and scoring or something, or can nobody really pick it up, she's one to help us and lift us up.
She's just humble and she has good energy and she's a good student athlete.
Yeah, it definitely means a lot, especially because I am young, and definitely means a lot because I put in a lot of work outside of basketball, like off the court and stuff. I have like a lot of homework and stuff like that, so just making sure that I'm putting that before everything else. It means a lot to show like my work is shown.
Congratulations, Dariah.
For over 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326. That's AWARD to 919-860-5326.
The next disaster is coming. Make a plan. Keep extra medication on hand. Make copies of important documents. Stay informed and be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
When it comes to game day, you play to win. And when it's go time, it's Total Wine time. With the lowest prices on your go-to lineup of beers, seltzers, and wines that'll turn your kitchen counter into the ultimate home tailgate. Total Wine is your home field advantage. Our team will go the extra yard to get you ready for the big game. We've got what you need to tackle game day and every day, only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I would say that he has not silenced his critics. He has changed the narrative. Everything has now changed when it comes to him. If anyone had said when he was in Carolina, Sam Darnold is a great quarterback, you would have looked ridiculous. Then he went to Carolina, so those things may not have been his fault. They certainly were maybe not all his doing. Maybe no one could have overcome them, but the circumstances were what the circumstances were. Give him all the credit in the world. He has rewritten his own story.
It's the Adam Gold Show. Hey, everybody. Paul Eihander in for Adam Gold today. Good to be sitting in the chair. It's final Thursday of the month of January. Remember, whatever you didn't do yesterday and you didn't do today is just another day where you didn't do it. So go get out and get yours. Go get out and get yours like I am today. Again, grateful Adam's letting me sit in today and sit in the chair today. He'll be back next week. Tomorrow, for you regular listeners of the Adam Gold Experience, which is, I believe, is what we should call it, to be honest. The Adam Gold Experience. Dennis Cox will be in, host of the Panthers Playbook podcast, as well as many Carolina Hurricanes pregame and postgames. Now, one of them will be digging out of snow this weekend. One will not, as Adam is probably sunning himself on the beach with Eric Mac Lain from our last hour.
I know. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jealous.
He's off to some warmer weather, but that's okay. That's okay. We can certainly hold down the fort for that. Now, if you believe everybody that's out there, I don't want to have this big long weather discussion, Victoria, but I think it's important. By the way, Victoria's here.
Yeah, I'm
Victoria's here. For those of you just jumping in here into the program and just going, where is everybody? Who is this guy? Who is this person? Victoria's here. It's all that matters. But, Victoria has to get here because she has to snowshoe her way here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because she lives, with Yeti.
I do. With the Mammoth from Utah.
Right.
The Mammoth.
Right, yeah. The actual Mammoth from Utah, I believe. Yeah. Where you live, there's it's so cold. Nothing has thawed out.
Nothing.
Is Biff. And for those of you who don't know, and I know Victoria better than many of you, Victoria has a very large dog named Biff. How is Biff handling this extended weather? So from what I understand from locals, I'm not from here. I'm transplant here, but I've been here long enough. But they haven't seen this in quite a while. The thaw hasn't come yet.
Yeah, no, because typically it's 46 the next day, and so it's pretty for 24 hours, maybe 2 days, but then after a while, it's 50 again, and all the snow's gone. It's like winter never happened.
Yeah, I think yesterday's high was 37, so if you didn't get any sun whatsoever, it probably never got above freezing.
No, yeah, exactly, and that's my whole subdivision. Because thankfully I still have trees in my neighborhood.
Yeah, no, there you go. Yeah, no, for sure. I do love me some trees. I have trees in my neighborhood too, and I've got neighbors that also are they're begging for snow melt and ice melt because there's just none to be found.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the problem. Even in my driveway, there was ice melt thrown down, and it still took 4 days to see pavement. So it's well, okay, well, winter's sticking around. So, yeah. No, but Biff, my large, sweet-loving fur baby boy, he loves the snow.
Okay.
He's got so much fur. That is his place in the snow. However, whatever this was that we got this weekend was an illusion. It's in the desert, and it was just an illusion because it looked like snow. And he got excited until he touched it. And then he was like, this is not snow. And he's sliding all down the hill. So, yeah, he was real confused. He looked back at me like I did something. I'm like, but sorry, buddy. Wait till this weekend, apparently, and we're actually going to get snow.
You're hoping for the heat miser to show up at this point, right?
I know.
That would be wonderful. Frosty, you know what, dude?
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we're done. You're going to have to disappear.
I'm going to grab your hat. We're done here.
Exactly. There are no more happy birthday. No, dude. Bring on the heat miser.
I know. Are there people out there who don't get that? Young ones?
Probably not.
Yeah.
That's all right. There ain't nobody young listening to this show right now. You be in school. They go back to school for the first time today for a portion of a day.
Oh, wow. Are the kids back now?
My 2 kids went back today on 2-hour delays.
Oh, wow.
Just in time for them to get back, have a little bit of social, and then tomorrow probably get told by all the teachers, listen, the forecast is calling for more than an inch of snow. So be safe, right? We cannot emphasize more than enough. First of all, be safe if you're out there out and about, because if you're like Victoria, you've got crampons at this point on your feet just trying to get the mail.
Yep.
But
facts.
To be safe when it comes to all the weather people and meteorologists that are out there, and I have a healthy respect for people who forecast the weather, but we have suddenly figured out another new internet position of occupancy. For a long time, we were internet doctors.
Yes.
Because, when you were sick, what do? You Google it, right?
Yes. Google MD. Yeah. Don't do it.
And so that was during the big disease pandemic times. We Googled our symptoms, and everyone was told, this is what you need to do. You need to wear a mask, or you need to not wear a mask, or you need to bathe yourself in lotions, or you need to spray cologne over your shoulder 3 times, and that would cure whatever it was.
Yeah.
I get it. Cut your toenails. And then we have international law. I'm like, this is what we do in international law. We can't do this. You can do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. And I'm like, we're dragging people into court for some reason or whatever it is. And then it's people go in there what do I do with this will? What do I do? No. This is the internet.
Right.
Not everything you read on the internet is real. And now, in the last week or so, everyone has become an internet weather forecaster.
Everyone.
Everybody. And I'm like, the funny thing is about that is that we had that back in the day, and I think the old folks remember this, and I had grandparents who used to call the couch the Davenport.
Oh,
For those of you who don't understand that reference, you can go get a nap on the Davenport, Paul. That's how old my grandparents were, and they've both passed since then. I love them both, but I would take naps on the Davenport when I went to visit, and they would always talk about how certain things ached when weather was happening.
Yes. When it rained, snowed.
Correct.
All of it.
Correct. They were their own kind of like barometer of what was going on in the world. But it was at least based in some sort of like historical fact or whatever it was. You see people that pull up a map of the United States for the first time ever, probably in the last 2 weeks, and they go, yep, we're going to have 24 inches of snow. And I'm like, what are you basing that on?
What was your grade in social studies? That's what I want to know.
Like, did you go to school for any of that? I'm like, I get it. Basket weaving as a minor will pay the bills. People need cool baskets.
Yeah.
They just do. People need to hold stuff, right? George Collin always said, I got a lot of stuff. I'm trying to be polite. But not everybody that you see or read on the internets is a true someone who studied and sent up weather balloons and went to chemistry class and microbiology class and studied atmospheric sciences and whatnot. I get it. You trust the people that you're going to trust. We live in a herd mentality society right now. We want instant gratification. You're listening to me and you're nodding, and some of you are throwing things at whatever it is, and I get it. It's okay to disagree.
Yeah.
But also, like, base a little bit of it on some actual knowledge.
Right. I would probably trust Bill Belichick more on weather predictions after seeing, did you see the clip where he used to tell his guys on the Patriots team when he coached them, okay, so the weather is this, the wind is actually going to swirl this way in this portion of the field, so face this direction when you catch the ball, and it worked. So I might take his word on things a little bit before
Non-Hall of
some of the
Famer.
people.
Non-Hall of Famer Bill Belichick.
Poor dude. Or is it poor dude? No.
Listen, it is what it is. I'm not... I think that has been litigated over and over and over again to where I don't have to get into that in this program.
Yeah, he'll get in there.
Yeah. Bill Belichick, not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Allegedly, Eli Manning, also not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
That, again, he's top 11 in passing all time. He does have Super Bowl rings. There's a lot of question marks about that. I mean, statistically speaking, what are we judging on? Are we judging on body of work? And Eli Manning, by the way, did he cheat at all? The only thing he did was he forced his way out of San Diego.
Yeah.
Was not going to play for them. That was like the one blemish at the top of the career. Since then, I guess he's like the greatest sidekick ever when it comes to television.
Sportscasting.
Sportscasting. That reminds me, I should save it. You know what? I'm going to save that. Speaking of sportscasting, I'm going to save that coming up here. We didn't do Wall of Sound. That's normally what we do here on the Adam Gold Show. So let's get at least one piece of sound so we deliver on the promise it's time for the Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
That's it? That's how we get into it?
That's the sound.
That's the sound? That's it? The Wall of Sound is a function of the studio? Okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Let's talk about LeBron James, shall we? LeBron James last night in Cleveland played in front of family and friends just miles away from where he grew up. His mom was there. They got run out of the building. His Los Angeles Lakers got run out of the building. Luka Doncic got hurt in this game, kind of tweaked an ankle because of the court in Cleveland is actually elevated by 10 inches, apparently, over the sidelines, which was a complaint of J.J. Redick following that game. LeBron didn't have his best game. As a matter of fact, he had one of his worst games in the last several weeks. He scored 11, I believe. It just wasn't good for him, but he got to sit. He sat down. Redick emptied the bench, and his son got in the game, Bronny James, which LeBron was happy about. LeBron was incredibly happy about that because his mom was in attendance. She got to see her son play and her grandson play in an NBA game.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Like, there's no other way to kind of color that. It is kind of crazy. But LeBron, during that game, was given a tribute video. And I know how some people feel about tribute videos. Not necessary. Only true if you've indicated that this might be your last visit or is your first return visit. Now, for LeBron James, this was not his first return to Cleveland by any means. But speculation is it could be his last appearance in Cleveland. ESPN's Dave McMenamin, who covers the Cavaliers, was asked that question. Was it LeBron's last game in Cleveland?
he is at a state right now that he actually doesn't know what's going to happen for the remainder of his career. I think some of that is you don't want to tempt the basketball gods. And, his body already betrayed him coming into this season. He had to miss 14 games because of sciatica in his lower back and not his right side. That's the first time in his entire basketball playing life, dating back to being 8 years old when he first picked up a ball, where he missed the start of a season because of an injury. And so he might not have the choice to make, so that's part of things. And then also he has to decide what it's going to look like, where it's going to be, etc., if he does decide to play another season. And so I kind of go back and forth with it. I think there's been certainly more clues, more signs than ever before in his career that I've seen this year that this could be it. But I truly think that there could be a possibility where if his body keeps feeling good and there's a basketball fit for him, whether that's in LA or elsewhere, we could also see him next year.
He says he wants to keep squeezing as much juice as he can out of the orange, right? But we all know, every one of us knows out there, every one of you with an earshot or watching this show on YouTube, you understand that there are few certains in life, and there are about three things that are undefeated. Death, undefeated. Let's be honest. Mother Nature, undefeated.
Oh, yeah.
And Father Time, all undefeated. All inevitable when it comes to things. Now, LeBron James is still averaging 22 points a game. There are many, 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 many NBA players who wish at the age of 41, if they get that far, could be averaging 22 a game and still playing on a playoff team. I believe the Lakers are 6th in the Western Conference, so they're firmly in the playoff picture. They don't have to play in at this point, as long as they stay healthy. Maybe they make a move before the deadline next Friday. Maybe they don't. But I don't see him going anywhere, especially after this season. Now, he did cry during the tribute video, in which kind of, I'm like, boy, if you're going to throw up a flare or a flag or wave the arms, don't drop the bomb on the tarmac as we've neutralized the poison.
Right.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
That might have been it.
That'll do it.
The tears are real. But he said he was just in the moment. I don't know, man. You're definitely feeling it. That's for sure. But again, if you're in the moment, you are certainly in the moment. All right, coming up next, there's a ranking of the best TV sports shows out there. Victoria and I will chop that up. Coming up next on The Adam Gold Show.
Because your fantasy football team needs all the help it can get, The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Darian Mensah's relationship with Duke football is over, but the ripple effects from his situation will be felt for a long time. Did Duke do enough in the courts, with the lawsuit, with the settlement, to make other players in the future rethink going back on a contract? That's what it's all about, and we'll see if it had the effect.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Low mortgage rates are back. Listen, Loan Pronto has fixed-rate mortgages with APRs as low as 4.89%, lowest in years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Smart homeowners are taking advantage of this while they can. If you got stuck in a 6% loan, you can lower your payment big time. Or you can keep your primary mortgage intact and get cash out of your equity with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. One homeowner just got $250,000 out of their home. They paid off all their credit cards and some car loans and cut their monthly expense by $2,000. Call now and see what option works best for you. But don't miss the big rate drop of 2026. Ask about new home loans, VA loans, full cash out refis, or their famous Rapid Equity Loan. You can close in less than 2 weeks, and you may be able to skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal with no hard credit pull. Call 919-381-1760 now, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Good morning, students! Cartoon Network wants you to start your day off right
by speaking up
against bullying.
People can be bullied for all kinds of things.
Who they are, where they're from, what they look like, or what they believe.
That's called identity-based bullying. If you see a student being bullied, be supportive.
Ask if they're okay and invite them to join you. You can be an ally
and make a friend.
Friendship!
Visit StopBullyingSpeakUp.com
and redraw your world without bullying.
What is dedication?
I think a parent's job is to protect our children, but also prepare them for the world so they become good, kind human beings.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov.
It's bow time.
A leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
Leg and thigh dinner from Bojangles for just $6.99.
So crispy.
So crispy.
And juicy.
And juicy.
So much flavor.
So much.
Stop it. What are you doing?
What, you expect me to get this delicious deal and not say anything?
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
With a boldly seasoned leg and thigh, choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea, it's a deal so good it's worth repeating. So eat and repeat while it lasts. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, and there's no time like now to stop what you're doing and join with the K-Yow Cancer Fund in the fight against all cancers affecting women. I'm Jenny Palmetier, CEO of the K-Yow Cancer Fund. From now through January 31st, Triangle Area Bojangles will donate all proceeds from Bowberry biscuit sales to the K-Yow Cancer Fund. Just buy a Bowberry, do some good, and get something good. So what are you waiting for? Hurry, it's bow time.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
This is Adam Gold.
The American Cornhole League. I don't know if you can wager on it. I mean, just go to FanDuel and find out if you can wager on it.
I think I read you can get a scholarship. Kids in high school can actually get scholarships for cornholing. Who knows? I don't know what the technical term
I'm just not going to say anything.
The Adam Gold Show.
What a bop. Literally a bop.
Right?
Hanson Brothers.
The bump songs today have all been songs.
There's a theme?
Yes.
There's a theme. All right, hang on a second. Paul Ihander in for Adam Gold today. It's the Adam Gold Show. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Victoria is here, as always, gracing us with her intelligence. So, as I always like to say, making things sound nice on the other side of the glass, but you've been theming up today, and I did not realize it. And I didn't. Is there a quiz on this? It's the first time I've been in the chair in 26. I didn't know if you started something new with Adam here.
Oh, no. So,
okay.
Well, sometimes I try to, but Adam usually doesn't pick up all my themes.
Okay.
So, yeah. But sometimes people do. So I like it when people get it, and then they tweet at me, and they're like, oh, I see what you did there.
Okay, so wait a second. So we got... You're going to have to go through the bops that we've had here. So, Bop, we've had Return of the Mac.
Yes, we did have that one.
Return of the Mac.
Oh, gosh. We had the Chumbawamba.
Oh, that's right, Chumbawamba.
Mm-hmm.
So, is this kind of like mumbly songs?
that could fit. That could qualify.
I mean, these are all stuff that I remember playing at weddings when I was a wedding DJ, so there's that.
Well, hey, there you go.
I've lived a very full life, just to let y'all know. I've done a lot of really cool things.
I know that probably also comes with a lot of fun stories, too.
I've got more than enough stories that 3 hours cannot pack in, I promise you.
Exactly.
Okay, so what's the theme? You're going to have to give it to us because I'm not sure everybody can stay for the next 40 minutes.
Exactly. So the theme is, because it's Hartford Whalers Night.
Okay.
They obviously they came here in 1997, May 6th of 1997.
Gotcha.
Is when it
so
was
these
announced.
are all number ones from 97.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Bop. Return of the Mac. Chumbawamba. By Tub Thumping.
I know. That's one of those where in music trivia, I don't think a lot of people would get the name of that song.
No, they do not. We're going to talk TV here in a hot second, but I do want to let some Carolina Hurricanes fans in on some news that literally just happened. So the Carolina Hurricanes, this is what we've mentioned earlier. Brandon Bussey's probably going to get the start in goal. This is not about Bussey, by the way, or Gus Bus. He likes to be called both. This is actually about the thought that Shane Gostisbehere might be returning tonight. We have the team has just assigned defenseman Yoel Nystrom to Chicago. So he's going back down to the AHL. And then Noah Phillips actually cleared waivers. They placed him on waivers yesterday. He cleared waivers, so he's going to go to Chicago as well. So most likely, this paves the way for Shane Gostisbehere to return to the lineup tonight as the Carolina Hurricanes host the Utah Mammoth again, the first time they've played since the weekend. So we all sat in our chilly, icy homes on Saturday, listened to the radio call with Mike and Tripp, and then the Canes went radio silent on us for so long. It's been so long.
I know, it feels like a long time, but their schedule has been so choppy where it's like game after game after game, then long break, then game after game after game.
So they play tonight, Thursday night, and then they play at Washington Saturday, and then have to come back to Raleigh on Sunday for an afternoon game. And again, if you've been paying attention to the weather, it could be a snowy Lenovo Center parking lot. So bring all your molds and bring all your fire pits if you have tickets, and they keep that game exactly at the 3 o'clock puck drop. So something to watch for, something to just keep in mind. But again, that's Carolina Hurricanes news for you there. Yoel Nystrom going down to Chicago, and Noah Phillips also clearing waivers going to Chicago. Probably means Shane Gostisbehere is returning to the active lineup for the Carolina Hurricanes. So Paul Eihander here, in for Adam Gold today. Appreciate him letting me sit in today. So on Barrett Media every year does a ranking of like top sports things. And this year, I believe this is brand new for them. They put out a poll among television executives and whatnot. Do you watch TV, Victoria?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure.
Yeah.
Just trying to, I don't want you to go, well, no, not really. I just watch Carolina Panthers stuff.
Yeah, and MMA on the weekend.
Yeah, and some MMA and, some cooking shows. And then I'm a sucker for infomercials.
Oh.
Again, you might be. Are you a sucker for infomercials?
No, I am a 95-year-old woman who likes to watch Dateline, though.
Dateline? How many
I
Law
love
and
True
Orders?
Crime.
Right, True Crime. Okay.
I love
So you
True
like
Crime.
Discovery ID, I think is what they used to call it. So
I could be a detective.
Stop it. Are you an internet detective, Victoria?
I know, instead of a meteorologist.
Right,
I can figure out all the shade.
You're going to frame by frame your next order at that chicken restaurant. You see here, they didn't bread the fourth chicken strip. You're going to frame by frame
fingerprints.
that. Right.
They threw their cup away in that garbage can.
Exactly. The guy in front of me tossed out. Anyway. So they ranked the top 20 sports television shows of 2025. I'm not going to run through this entire list, but there are a couple here that I'm kind of like, yeah, I kind of don't get why that's even on this list. Like, for example, like SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Like, top TV show, SportsCenter.
Right.
I can't even tell you when it's on.
Yeah.
To be fair. But so let's just go right to the top, and we can just chop it up here real quick about this. Number one, College Game Day.
Okay.
College Game Day. Do you buy that as a number one? And you can ask about any of these other ones I'm going to give you. I'm just going to pop around here, but College Game Day was voted the number one sports television show in 2025.
Okay.
Entertainment factor is clearly there. It's like 4 hours long, though.
I know. And is that only because Pat McAfee is like involved?
See, and that's the thing. Like, is it because they try to give away like enormous gobs of money for a kicking competition?
Right.
Or do you actually get like something out of it besides, okay, we're going to spend the last 15 minutes of the show picking games.
Right.
We get a celebrity guest picker, which, is like, Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Exactly.
Anytime they go to Texas, or Shane Gillis, or, some WWE wrestler, which seems to be ESPN's thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I'm not bagging on ESPN. I watch ESPN. It's entertainment and sports network. That's ESPN. Literally, it's what it is. They talk so much wrestling now. Like, there's so much professional wrestling.
Now that UFC's with Paramount Plus, ESPN's all over wrestling.
Right. They made a full hard pivot to that. So College Game Day is number one on this list. Also in the top 25, the Big Noon Kickoff for Fox. That's number 8. McAfee is 9th on this list.
Okay, interesting.
So does it feel like there's fatigue, or is there not? Again, you just said interesting.
Yeah.
Is it interesting enough for people to go, I'm going to watch this constantly? Because I understand. Like, for those of you who listen to the Adam Gold Show, there are probably a handful of you who listen all 3 hours of this program. Like, and some of the affiliates of the Adam Gold Show carry 2. They just carry 2 hours. That's a lot of time to commit to something.
Yeah.
Which is where I kind of go, I'm like, College Game Day number one?
Yeah.
I'm like, that is a show that I would leave on.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably where they get a lot of this stuff, too. People who leave it on, leave the room, go do other things, come back,
Right, but this is like a vote. And I'm thinking the people that voted for this probably not looking for the entertainment value. So if I'm looking for entertainment value, and I've got to go really far down for this one, and this is top 20, I actually enjoyed the post-game of Thursday Night Football on Amazon.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Right.
It is. It's fun. It's got a good vibe to it. It feels like you're sitting around the kitchen table, kind of yucking it up about it.
It does. It feels like a true kind of like after the game, we're chopping it up. We're having we're having a good time. That's the vibe that you get from inside the NBA, which is number 2. But inside the NBA right now for a lot of folks, and again, we're talking pro hoops. So like, oh my goodness, professional basketball on the Adam Gold Show. You can barely find it sometimes on ESPN because it's in these weird spots. When it was on TNT, when TNT still had the deal, it was easy to find. It was like, all right, we're playing basketball on Tuesdays, we're playing basketball on Fridays. When's Inside the NBA coming on? After the game and in between the games. There's Charles, there's Kenny, there's Ernie, and there's Shaq.
Right.
And those 4 guys have advanced the NBA further than I think the NBA advances itself. I think the NBA has a challenge of marketing its stars still.
Yeah.
Because there are so many places to find the association these days. And the NBA of, say, 10 years ago is different from the NBA of today.
Yeah, and a lot of fans struggle to stick with it, too, because there is so much drama with the NBA, it feels now. Like some of the players and just the way, they talk about not getting paid enough, even though they get paid the most. I think some fans are just kind of over that aspect of it. So that makes it,
The entertainment factor, I think, is what's more important than anything else. And I promised when we started the show 2.5 hours ago that we would be entertaining and give you sports at the same time. And for those of you who have stuck with us for all 2.5 hours so far, I appreciate that. I do. This is not easy. And this is not a woe is me. I've worked more than enough Joe jobs in my lifetime. I managed a pizza place. I managed a video store back in the day. I delivered papers. I have weeded Holly Farms. That is not a joke.
Wow.
That is not a joke. This isn't simple because we have to be everything to everybody and be experts at a lot of things. And so if you disagree, you disagree. Absolutely. Be stern and be confident in disagreeing. But the idea is to be kind of hopeful and entertaining, and that's what I hope you get out of just having me hang out with you today. I mean, I've had some fun so far. We still got another half an hour of this program, and I've had a good time. And Victoria makes it fun. Like, you know what? No, I mean, seriously, your job is tough. Job is tough.
There's a lot of moving parts back there.
There are an awful lot of moving parts, and people, and then they go, okay, what's Victoria have to say? And then they go, man, she's so full of crap. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you take as many shots as some of these athletes do. And I don't know. I just want to make sure y'all having a good time. And if you aren't, hit me up on the socials. I'm not hard to find. Paul Ihander in for Adam Gold today. All right, coming up next, Giannis. Giannis looking for the best deal, and the best deal might not be there. Plus the latest on the Carolina Hurricanes and a big swing that they could be taking. Paul in for Adam. It's the Adam Gold Show.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Last call. Last call for, no, not that, for football. You know what? That rhymes too. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, one final shot at FanDuel Glory Super Bowl 60. FanDuel making sure you're in on it. If you are a new customer, bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or just throwing a dart at the dartboard, it does not matter. Make it count. FanDuel.com/local. It's over after the Super Bowl. FanDuel.com/local. Get started. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
Sometimes the simplest steps make the biggest difference. Washing your hands often, staying home when you're sick, and talking with your health provider about vaccines.
Help keep your family protected against the flu, RSV, and COVID. Simple steps, big protection.
Defend yourself. Get vaccinated to protect you and your family from respiratory illnesses this season. Visit myspot.nc.gov to find yours today.
Brought to you by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
PBS North Carolina premieres an all-new season of the music series Shaped by Sound, featuring 13 North Carolina artists, including Grammy winner Anthony Hamilton, Rock Band Wednesday singer-songwriter Ben Folds, and NC Music Hall of Famer Jim Lauderdale, among others. Watch as they perform in the studio and share the stories behind their songs. Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. on PBS NC or stream anytime on the free PBS app. Learn more about PBS North Carolina at pbsnc.org.
This is Adam Gold.
See Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just moved this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah.
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
That I want him, you is a promise to be. Say you'll be there. The Spice Girls. One of the few groups I would love to go see again. And I've never seen them, so I would love to see them once together.
Oh my gosh, I was such a big Spice Girls fan.
One of their underrated Spice Girls songs is Stop.
Oh,
Stop
yeah.
right now. Thank you very much. I need somebody with a human touch.
I know all those words.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like all of them. They're stuck in my brain, too.
To Become One, another great Spice Girls song. Spice Up Your Life was terrible. That was just kind of them yelling to a beat. Everything else, spice up your life! Yeah, Stop. And that's clever song. It's got that 60s vibe to it. Love it. Paul Ihander in for Adam Gold today. That's Victoria. Let's talk trades a little bit here. It has been reported in the last 24 or so hours that the Milwaukee Bucks of the National Basketball Association is going to unload Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis has played there for 12 years, brought them a championship. He is out right now with a strain, probably 4 weeks at least enough. So any team that makes a move for him, and apparently he is open to a move, even though he has long said, I don't control those things. I like it here in Milwaukee, but it's not really up to me. My agent deals with that stuff. That is standard operating procedure, SOP, when it comes to a professional athlete who is getting ready to be dealt or is open to trading, or contract negotiations even, my agent handles all that stuff. So Giannis is wide open, and I don't think it takes a rocket scientist or a genius to understand that Giannis Antetokounmpo could go to any other NBA team willing to shed some of their freight. Whether it's stars, whether it's picks, the Milwaukee Bucks are in rebuild mode. The Charlotte Hornets have leaped over the Bucks right now and are one spot out of the play-ins. The Bucks are below the Charlotte Hornets, and the Hornets have eclipsed last year's win total. They're playing good basketball. And even the Hornets could put a package together for the Bucks because the Bucks are lacking a number of things. First of all, Giannis Antetokounmpo is Giannis. We'll just call him Giannis. Giannis is averaging 28 and 10 right now. 28 points, 10 rebounds a game. That is hard to replace. So anything the Bucks want back, they're going to need what I used to call back in the day. I used to work on an internet game show. See, I have lots of stories. We called it Young Studs. And so the Bucks need young studs.
Man, maybe that'll make the top 25 next year.
Maybe.
If they made a show out of it.
I mean, they got Kyle Kuzma, and they went out and plucked Miles Turner from the Pacers. And I know Miles Turner went and got a bag, but he's probably regretting that move right now because Giannis is probably on his way out. And the Hornets could put a package together. Is it realistic that Giannis would not only come to the Hornets but sign an extension? I'm not sure. It depends on where Giannis is at in his professional life. Is he hungry for another championship? That's why the Bucks brought in Damian Lillard. That failed miserably. He didn't have a Robin to go with his Batman. He ended up with Batman and kind of like one of generic police officers that the police commissioner assigned to him. That didn't work out. Is Giannis hunting for another championship? If he is, there are logical stops. But again, the Bucks are looking for young studs. The Bucks don't have any draft choices. They control none of their picks through 2031. 2031. They have no first-round picks. The NBA draft of today is not the NBA draft of the year 2000 where they had like 8 rounds. There's 2, and that's it. And then you ship them all off to Summer League. The Bucks don't have any first-rounders, so they need draft capital as well. And they're going to need it from a team that's not bad, but might be bad at the same time. And so are you in rebuild mode or are you in win now mode? Every team can get in on this, but it feels like the same New York Knicks, Golden State Warriors, Miami Heat, maybe Orlando, maybe they've got some picks, but you're looking for teams that might be closer to a championship than further away, like Houston always comes up in conversation. Does Oklahoma City, are they willing to tear it down because they're at the top right now, but would that extend their window? They've got all their stars locked up, including SGA, who's making, I believe, $74 million this year.
Wow, that's a few.
Yeah, that's zeros stacked on top of zeros. On top of zeros.
Wow.
So, is it in the best interest of Giannis to go somewhere else? For him, probably. The Bucks are stuck in the mud, and they aren't going anywhere. But Evan Cohen, ESPN and Sportsmanlike, I know, very good friend of the Adam Gold Show, believes the Bucks should not trade number 34.
If I were the Milwaukee Bucks, I would not trade him. And I don't mean just now. Like literally ever. Unless he says to me, I want to leave, which then, because of this amazing partnership for the last 12 years, I would actually honor his request because I think the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis have given every ounce of effort to make each other great. I think this has been an unbelievable partnership for 12 years. You could look at what they've done from Miles Turner to Dame Lillard to Drew Holiday. They try, and it worked. They got a championship, and I will never, ever get a person or player ever to walk through my doors again like that. If he wants to ask out, I would do it. But he's eligible for a 4-year, $275 million contract extension on October 1st. If he wants to say no, I then have still another full season of Giannis's services. I would still not trade him.
That value goes away, though. This is where I disagree with Evan Cohen. I think the value is hot right now. Even though he's injured, if you're going to deal him to a team that doesn't need him right now, that feels like they're already there and they can let him sit for a while. I mean, we still have All-Star break coming up, and you never know the magical healing powers of a trade. Let's be honest. New scenery, suddenly people get healthy. Oh, yeah, I'm good. All of a sudden I can skate again. All of a sudden I can run again. All of a sudden I can throw again. I can tackle again. I can hit again. It's amazing what a new trade spot will do. But every NBA team should be in on this and lining up to put the biggest, best package out there. Now, speaking of biggest, best package, and I'm not referring to myself, the NHL has a star player right now on the market in Artemi Panarin of the New York Rangers. Artemi Panarin is out of the Rangers lineup for what they call rosters management and has likely played his last game with the Rangers. 34 years old, the bread man, right? That's what they call him. 19 goals this season, 57 points. He is sitting. The New York Rangers are in full rebuild mode. And I think NHL teams need to start asking themselves some questions. First of all, should we ask? Yes. One, ask away. You only get no's if you ask. If you ask, you can get a no. But if you don't ask, you never know.
Yeah, shoot your shot.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot your shot. And we have learned since Artemi Panarin has been taken out of the Rangers lineup that teams are shooting their shot. There's a report right now out of San Jose that the San Jose Sharks have inquired about him. And reportedly, and again, I take this with a grain of salt because it's anonymous sources and no one's saying anything out there. And usually you get a few more people kind of chiming in on it. Apparently he would sign an extension because he is eligible for an extension at this year. He's in a contract year. But he won't go anywhere without an extension on the table. Canes fans, does this remind you of somebody last year? Some large Finnish guy who didn't want to play here? Does that remind you of anybody? Artemi Panarin does not want to be dealt unless there's more money on the table for him after being dealt. He does not want to be a rental. He wants to settle down and play for a team. And this is Giannis again. Artemi Panarin is a guy that is a distraction, even on his worst night. Giannis is the same way on his worst night. He commands attention. He is distracting. But if you heard me talk about this early in the program, if those of you who've stuck with me this long all day today, thank you. You will understand this right away, right? You will understand this right away. Adaptability and ability are two different things. When it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes, when it comes to other teams around this league, perhaps the Florida Panthers, perhaps the Seattle Kraken, perhaps the LA Kings. I don't know. I'm just naming teams at this point, just dudes naming teams. That's just me. You have to be able to fit into certain systems in order to be effective. The Carolina Hurricanes understand this. Some of that has to do with attitude, too. But a guy that they swung big for a couple seasons ago, Jake Gensel, slid right into the Carolina Hurricanes lineup like the perfect pair of worn-in jeans. He was perfect for this team. Love being here. Unfortunately, it came before the raise of the salary cap. Otherwise, he might still be here. Unfortunately, it came while this team may have been dragging its feet, and he still might be here. I have no hard feelings about Jake Gensel. Not as hard as it was when he first left.
Right.
I really don't. Harder feelings about Mikko Rantanen. We created a villain out of Mikko Rantanen.
Oh, yeah. I heard the Boo Birds almost blew the roof off of
Yeah, they put the
Lenovo
decibel meter up.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense. We created that. And he wanted an extension before he was traded, and he got it. He got it in Dallas and settled down. It's the same with Artemi Panarin. But, as I mentioned, adaptability and ability. Some teams, some general managers, if they know they're on the cusp and they have the assets, can just go pure ability. Artemi Panarin's not going to come down on the other side of the ice and beat someone on the other side of the ice. He's got the ability to do it. There's no doubt about it. Is there the will or is that fortitude there in every case? No. But he's a sniper, and he draws attention on the ice.
Yeah,
and sometimes that's what you need. You need someone like that who's played in a bunch of different spots and don't think about the number that he's playing for if you're a team that has that cap space. And the teams that have the cap space, again, not every team has it, but you can get it done if you're creative. And this guy was creative. This guy was creative when he was with Chicago. This guy was creative when he was with Columbus. And this guy continues to be creative with the New York Rangers, but has played his last game there. has absolutely played his last game there after legitimately a season in 2023 where he had 49 goals.
Right.
And the last season, 37 goals. No one shakes their head at that. I'm sorry. You are delusional if you say you wouldn't add someone like that to your team.
Oh, yeah. I like him a lot. He's got spunk. There's still spark in there.
And so is that spark worth the price? Remember, the Rangers are kind of dialing everything back down. They want to rebuild from the studs, right? They feel they've got the bones, and there are certainly some players in that lineup, but how far are they stripping this house down?
Yeah.
Is it Panarin and Vincent Trocheck? Is it just Panarin? Because they know they can get a haul for him. They know they can get a haul for him, and they're going to command that same price for Trocheck. Not as big, I believe. But if Panarin's willing to re-sign, yeah, people will pay a price for that. Yeah. Same thing with Vincent Trocheck. Panarin's going to command some assets. Do the Canes have all those assets? Maybe not. The Canes draft picks aren't that exciting. They aren't. The Canes play very good hockey. They play playoff hockey all year long, and they end up in that end of the year scrum towards the end of May, and hopefully this year, if you're a Canes fan, into June. The picks aren't that great. Your first rounders are not fantastic. So if there's hesitancy to give up the one in 2026 that they have here, don't. Like, that player's not making this team anyway. There are 2 players, I believe, 3 players right now that are on expiring deals this year. Freddie Anderson, Eric Robinson, Mark Jankowski, I believe, is also expiring this year. That's about it. And then a couple of guys that, get shuttled between here and the AHL team. I mean, that's kind of the bit, right? So cracking the lineup as a youngster is really hard with the Carolina Hurricanes right now. Jackson Blake found himself a little crack in the roster, and he made the most of it.
Oh, yeah. Love him. I want him to stay forever.
They signed
I think Rod does too.
Yeah, they signed him to big dollars for him to do so, and he's proven himself. Like, he has good numbers this season. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's a guy that, you hate to see not get shots off in games. Same with Logan Stankoven. Same kind of bit, right? You look for the guys that have adaptability. But in some cases, when you take these big swings, the Carolina Hurricanes are not afraid to take big swings. Sometimes it's okay to lean on ability too if that's the last thing that you believe will take you over the top. There's only one guy that's going to know that. That's Eric Tulsky. But if there's hesitancy among Canes fans, hesitancy in Caniac Nation about taking a swing for that guy, don't. Don't. You're not mortgaging future at this point. The future is so limited with what you have to offer. What you give them, you will get back in goal scoring. And there is no team in the NHL right now that will stare you out in the face and lie to you saying, we've got enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, never. No, never.
We've got more than enough. Nah.
But any Canes fan knows that we have been right on the cusp of making it all the way. So we're there. We got the momentum. We're in the right space. We just need this, missing piece here, missing piece there. And that's what those guys can be.
Amazing. Wow. Can you believe it? The marathon. It's time for our show rewind. Joel Bryant of High School OT joined me earlier in the program, talked about the weather. We talked about weather. Weather and sports are going hand to hand right now here in the Carolinas, certainly within North Carolina, certainly within Southern Virginia, up and down the East Coast, and in South Carolina. And now they're dealing with some issues in terms of having to cancel regionals and going straight to tournament play at the high school level in North Carolina, specifically for swimming. And wrestling's doing the same thing, diving's doing the same thing, so many things moving around. And so I asked Joel about the weather and what it means for upcoming events and certainly for training.
Yeah, I mean, it's limited, right? We don't have many of these places where people can practice and everything. So that'll be interesting, how they kind of prepare for the state championships next week without. I'm sure there's going to be closures in the state. I don't want to be a weatherman on here. But,
right, no, I get it. We're not trying to freak people out.
Yeah,
we're not.
It's probably going to be pretty hard to get the normal regimen in, I would say.
Okay, so diving's going to go on. Swimming's doing algorithmic whatever it is to try to figure out who's going to make it.
The unfortunate thing is, it's only going to be about 70% of the swimmers that are going to advance. So there's about 30% or so that thought they had at least one more meet coming up.
Right,
some of them are
exactly,
seniors. Right? So that is kind of tough. A lot of parents upset about it. They found my email, and I'm not in charge of the swimming, but they found my email telling me about it.
They think you're in charge of swimming, Joel.
I'm not in charge of it, and they understand. It's just it's a logistical thing, right? They don't want to end these kids' seasons early if they didn't have to do it, but they have to do it because of the contracts and everything with the venues.
Joel Bryan of High School OT joining us here during the Adam Gold Show. Joel, so obviously this has got to be tough. For high school athletes who've devoted their entire careers, this was kind of going to be it, right? You're up at 5 a.m. and you're in the pool by 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and you go through your regimen, then you go to school and you're training and year round. And swimming is a different kind. Every sport has its own quirks when it comes to training and practice and whatnot. And there are different kinds of animals. Like, I believe, distance runners are different kinds of folks because they burn through shoes and get up and do weird things that are called fartleks. And you think fartlek's funny. And then you go and talk about swimming, where, again, you talk about limited time, right? Limited pool time. I got to get up super early. I'm doing all this training. It's got to be just incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, it has to be. You get that kind of visual in your mind, right? You're going to go to the regional. It's going to be a big event. That's going to be so many people there, more people there than the conference meets for sure. So, yeah, it is tough. But ultimately, I think, people are going to come to realize that the guys that are going to the swimming state championships are probably the ones that would have won anyways, just based off the times that we know about. Surely there could have been someone there that maybe had a surprise meet that could have advanced, but it's unlikely.
And any effects on girls, boys basketball at this point? I know we've had a lot of games that have come through. This is probably just more about travel and individual kind of schools' decisions and things.
So what will happen is we have the playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks where they do the seeding and everything. There's going to be some schedule changes. There have already been schedule changes from last week.
Sure.
There's going to be some games that just don't happen tomorrow because people are afraid of the storm. So we're probably going to get some games that are rescheduled to next week and the week after. Worst case scenario, we'll probably maybe get some conference championships canceled, which are basically like the ACC tournament that happens. But they don't really
pre-tournament. But
they don't really mean anything. It's more of like a fundraising thing for the conference. So that's happened before. If that happens here, it won't change too much with the playoffs. Still, the best teams will get in and whatnot. But right now, I think we might have enough time to get everything in.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Thanks to Joel Bryan of High School OT, highschoolot.com for full coverage, especially when it comes to the weather. So we know it's coming. We know, is it an inch? Is it 12 inches? Is it whatever it is? At this point, size won't matter. It'll just stack up, and we'll just have to deal with it.
I know. As long as it doesn't turn into ice.
Right. You've got plenty of that already
in
your place. Well, fingers crossed that you can keep getting in and out of your house over the next few days, Victoria. Thank you, by the way, for hosting me today. It's always fun to hang out with you.
Always fun, yes.
Always fun.
And you got your 2026 out of the way, the first one for this year.
Right. Broke the seal in the 2026.
There you go.
That's a good thing. Hey, do you want to shout out a couple of things here before we take off? Obviously, Canes fans excited to see the team back on the ice tonight. It is a Whalers night. Well, as they take on the Utah Mammoth, or as they say in Utah, the Utah Hockey Club. They don't say that. They just say they're the Utah Mammoth. So that one tonight, that'll be a great game, or should be a good game anyway. Hopefully the Canes don't rust or don't have too much rust going on them. Shout out, by the way, to Campbell as well. Campbell taking on Stony Brook tonight. I think Campbell's got that one. They're a 5.5-point favorite in that one. And UNC Wilmington on the road tonight. They are taking on Towson. Local. They say Towson.
I'm sure a local would be like, sir,
up in Maryland, and that one's tonight. And see if Wilmington can keep them going. They got a win over Hampton last week after taking that tough loss at William and Mary. So see if the Seahawks. Let's go Seahawks! I love me some Seahawks, by the way. That's Victoria. Thanks once again to Adam Gold for letting me sit in. Paul Eihander wishing all of you a great sports day, and as always, keep it on the shiny part.
His Zamboni is bigger than yours. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen for the oh my goodness.
Sears pulls up left wing three. Ring it up. A dagger. A dagger by Sears.
They got posters.
Rebound battled for. Picked down Bedunga. Rejected emphatically by Coleman Hawkins.
What in the what?
Maddox for Xavier. He'll throw a bounce pass. And